the way it's all played out. And boy, oh boy, he is eager to play, and he wants to play. And tonight's game is probably one of the most pivotal games that we are expecting in the series so far today.
The most pivotal game, Steve, indeed, as you made mention, because not only is this game crucial for Delta as well as they try to come back and tie the series up, but for Richmond, who's trying to take a 3-1 series lead, heading back home to Minderoo, where they have gotten both of their wins this series.
Oh, it's going to be interesting. And again, we are doing this game live tonight, myself and Jag Lawley. Ian is out doing the broadcast in Chilliwack, so a shout out to Ian Wilson, our compatriot broadcast crew. What's the score out there? It's
6-1.
6-1 for Ridge right now. That's a big game, and Ian's having fun calling that one. But we are doing this game on Mixlr. We're not doing a live stream on it right now. And there you can see the Delta Ice Hawks bench. And the live stream is going through Flow Hockey, and that's just the broadcasters over to our right, which we see Mark and Greg working the game over there. So we're going to listen in for the anthem and then get the official face-off underway. Hi everybody, welcome back. Thank you, Katie Lawrence, for the anthem. And again, we are back underway. Want to take a look at the starting goaltenders first, Jag?
Indeed. First, starting for the visiting Richmond Sockeyes, starting in goal, number 29, Noah Stenvig. 6 wins in the regular season, a goals against average of 2.15, a save percentage of .894. In the playoffs, he's at 3 wins, 1 loss, and a save percentage of .900.
And about 190 feet away at the other end.
Starting in goal for the home team, number 30, Zach Shaughnessy, 18 wins, 3 losses in the regular season, which included 3 shutouts so far in the playoffs. He's amassed a record of 5 wins, 1 loss, a save percentage of .898, a goals against average of 2.86.
Huge game for both teams right now. We're going to see how this one plays out. And do we have any additions, extra players added in the roster that we should be aware of?
Indeed, I will definitely take a look here as the roster still has to load.
Once we get the roster all loaded up, we'll let you know, but we're going to go back out to center, and Matheson is going to take the draw. Matheson is against Stewart. Stewart takes it. Looks to pull it back, but Matheson intercepts it, goes back inside the zone. Merriman comes inside. Merriman picks it up in the corner, holds on it. Back on the far side, Akimoto waits, takes a high shot, deflected wide, goes back over the corner. Quick start for the Ice Hawks again as they get it and work it inside the zone. Akimoto turns, goes back, slides it right through the crease. Matheson's coming after it, unable to get control. Right side wall. Akimoto pinches in. Merriman comes in, unable to get control. Shot tipped wide. Am I mistaken, or do we have both Merrimans on the ice tonight in the roster?
Indeed, Carson Merriman is back in the lineup for the Delta Ice Hawks.
That's a big addition right there. And, of course, the key for this game is the fast start for both teams. See how this one plays out. Stretch pass out to center ice area. Schloberg goes after it, not going to get control. Noren's down the right side. Grant comes in. Grant goes to the left side. Looks, goes in, takes a shot. Looks, it was blocked over in the far left side corner. Pinned against the wall easily this time by Jang. And they're trying to feed it loose. Unable to get it back out this time. Peyton Hu is in there. Baines centering back in front. Cross pass, long dump in play again by Soares, deflected wide. And Shaughnessy just tipped it back out, knocked out of the air. Now with a high stick, carefully played. Now they go back, Grant, backhand pass inside. Shaughnessy comes out, stopped it. Zampantas, the trailer, intercepts it, throws it all the way back out in front. Kump intercepts it and keeps it onside. Kump off of the boards. Left side boards, they pick it back up, and Akimoto holds onto it and goes down the far side. Akimoto in the corner, takes his time. Shot, high shot, deflected out of play. Face-off will stay deep inside the corner. A minute, 27 seconds played so far. Fast start, Jag.
Indeed, a fast start indeed. And head coach Steve Robinson electing to go with a bit of lineup changes as well. He's putting Austin Koffler and his wings with Dawson Toledo Michael Romeo as well. And that's a lineup that really interests me because Austin Koffler has been phenomenal in the playoffs so far. 8 points in 7 games.
So Stenvig having a lengthy discussion with referee Trevor Beaton in there. But the other part that's interesting is you take a look at the first line they've got set up, and they've got Matheson between both Merrimans.
Indeed, and that was a lineup they used down the stretch in the regular season as well after Matheson arrived via trade.
So they pick it back up, shot it over against the boards all the way over on the far side. They're trying to get control. They'll rip it all the way out the center ice area. Parmar goes after, waits. Icing called, face-off back down inside the zone. And of course, the crowd still coming in the front gate. Not a bad crowd coming in so far. A little bit sparse at the start, but not now.
Indeed, it's Sunday night, Steve. Everybody mostly had a day off today as well, and Sunday nights are always a good night to play hockey. I would like to make mention for the Richmond Sockeyes, the key would be how Rajan Parmar plays. The last 2 games, he's been fairly quiet.
Quiet, but played discipline. That's the key right there. They go inside, trying to get control. Petrie pinches inside. Petrie unable to get control. Hemingway's over on the far right side boards, goes against the boards, back out to Petrie on the left side boards. Petrie takes his time, rips it off of the wall, back in the corner one more time. Trying to center it out in front. Jang's out there, not going to get it back to him, and Hemingway comes in. Jang goes after it, gets part of his shot away, deflected wide, and goes over the boards of the far side wall with Warburton hold on to it. Warburton still in the corner. Back to Petrie. Petrie goes inside. Got it away from Peyton Hu this time, and it's back behind the net. And they'll grab it back up as Ueda holds onto it. Ueda out the center ice area, hustles down the left side. Good cross play, funny hop right on. Those bounces, they can really be a little bit, elusive for the goaltenders. They've got to be careful because if it takes a funny hop in front, goaltenders have to be aware of that one.
And some specific rinks do have those funny bounces as well. We saw in the first round for the Richmond Sockeyes, Centennial Arena, they played there. They also played at South Surrey Arena as well. And we've heard this from a lot of people that the bounces do tend to be different.
It can really be different. Far side, waits, play carries on. Strand was calling for it. McComb didn't give it to him that time. Goes over the far side with Joe Hall going after it. Block kept inside. Inside the feet this time. Gibbons goes after it. Stretch pass, and Romeo intercepts this one for Delta and gets up and over center. Rips it all the way back in the right side corner. Off of the backboard. Waiting for it. Stenvig had to be alert now, and Strand's taken out of the puck. Joe Hall takes a shot. Stopped by Stenvig. Goes in the right side corner. Trying to clear it out, waiting for it. Romeo comes in, clears it, still in the corner, and Delta still applying more pressure. Joe Hall, ball's unable to get control. Out to center ice area, down the far side. Good hustle to go back inside. First one coming in is going to be McKnight, out of his reach. Chases it over in the corner on the far left side this time. I'm partially blocked out, but all I have to do is look at the viewfinder that Sophie's got on camera, so I can just see the play in the corner right there. The joys of having a professional camera person operate for us.
Indeed.
Far side again. Waits, misplayed this one. Noren throws it straight forward. Akimoto clears it back in. And Stenvig had to be alert in that one and hold on to it. Leaves it back behind his own net for Strand. Strand takes his time. Trying to feed it to Stewart. Sets it up on a drop pass this time. Stewart's back at the attacking blue line. Throwing it back to him. He tips it back in. It goes deep inside the corner and off of the backboards this time, and they'll chase it back on the far side. Waiting for it. Ashby couldn't get control. They go the other way, and they reverse and hustle away out the center. Merriman comes back in. Left side. Stopped and throw it in the corner again by Stenvig. Centers it out in front. Akimoto tees it up. Takes a shot. Deflected off a Lynn's stick and went wide over the far side corner one more time. Out to the blue line. Penalty coming up. Going against the Sockeyes. Right? Nope. Correction. I mistaken that one. We have a slashing penalty. The funny part, you know that? Both goaltenders left the crease.
Indeed.
I looked first at Delta, and then I look back and I see Stenvig. They're both left the crease.
Sometimes it's those funny bounces or like the referee, you tend to find more of a distraction as well. But this penalty, it looks like it'll go against Carson Merriman, who just recently returned to the lineup. A slashing call will be the case, and it'll be interesting to see how Richmond operates on their first power play of the game.
It will be.
This power play last game was 1 for 4, so will they have a better start?
Yeah, only 25%. Not the best of percentages right now. I learned that from my math teacher. Lynn works his way in, and I wasn't good at math anyway. Far side, but I didn't like science either. Far side taking a shot, deflected wide. Lynn comes in, waiting for it. Sloberg saves one. Huge shot. Grant takes a shot, deflected wide over in the far side corner. Stewart's out there. Grant's over, pinching inside, trying to get control. It rolls all the way back out the blue line, and it goes back to center again. Ueda. Cross pass, a nice cross pass inside his own blue line by about 20 feet. They got about a minute and a half left in their power play, and if they're going to open the game up, this is the time for them to do it right now. Power play marker would change everything around. And again, good crowd in hand in the game tonight.
Indeed.
Far side, out the center ice area. Noren works his way in, back to Grant. Baines comes inside, trying to get control. They just lobbed it out to center again. And McKnight holds onto it, turns back to Baines in front of the penalty box area. Baines hustles down the left side, deep inside the corner, continues to press back in. Noren goes out in front. Warburton's trying to get it, centers in front, goes far side, and I think the net moved off its moorings right there. So a quick stoppage of play. Played 5 minutes and 1 second so far, and still a scoreless game, but the Sockeyes still on the power play, Jack.
The Sockeyes are indeed on the power play, Stephen. You had mentioned as well, opening things up early scoring-wise would be beneficial for the Sockeyes, who we've seen throughout the first 3 games of this series. They haven't had the best of starts. It's been Delta controlling the pace out of the gates. In Game 3, we saw Mateo Soberg had a goal as well. And you see goaltender Zach Shaughnessy preparing for the faceoff.
Good camera work by Sophie as usual. Far side, she had that all lined up. So Noren gets it back the line. Zhao is going to get control. Shot taken, deflected. Zhao comes in, takes the shot, missed the target. Noren goes back to cover for him. And Noren holds on it, goes in, gets around Koffler this time. Back to Zhao. Zhao's still in the corner. Centers this one back in. Trying to feed it back. They do. They get it back on the far side. Keeping it. Nice reach to keep it on side that time by McKnight. Didn't think he was going to keep it on side, but man used his length of his stick to hold on that one. Fan on the clearing play out the center ice area. Ho throws it back, gets it again, got it back, and Hemingway couldn't get control. Hemingway goes over and a cross pass all the way over on the far side. They work their way inside the corner. Noren's a trailer. Zampanta comes inside, still setting it back up. Zhao pinches in left side. Zhao goes after it, trying to get control. They come off of the wall with it. William Ho goes in, takes a shot. Scrambly play, and it rolls off the center ice area with a dozen seconds left in the minor penalty, and Kump turns inside. Merriman glances from the penalty box area. Sockeyes throw it inside. Play carries on. A couple players fell down. No penalty award on that one right there. Now Merriman goes back the other way again. Carson and Connor both out in the line at the same time. Keelman turns. Throws it back on the left side. Out the center. Off of the wall. Back out the center again with McComb going after. McComb stayed with Ashby. And now they go back with Keelman hustling his way in. Keelman trying to feed it back to Gibbons. Unable to. McComb rips a shot. Gibbons is out in front. Back pass, Keelman comes in, slides it in front, takes a shot, misplay this one, shot scores! Referee's waving it up and saying no. Referee is saying no goal.
And this one is a sort of a 50-50. You are confused, but you understand why the referee waved this off, because the Sockeyes are really crowding Zach Shaughnessy's crease, and it looks like this will be no goal as well. As you see, the referee will go over and discuss. And to all of our listeners in on a Mixler, this is still a scoreless tie, 13:31 to go in the first.
And Cullen wants to know an explanation right there. Referee went over. They'll make the announcement as to why it was not. I'm assuming that the net might have been dislodged. That would be an assumption on my part right there.
Indeed.
So they take it. Akimoto gives it back over the corner on the left side this time. Merriman's at center, unable to get control. They work it inside as Matheson comes inside. Goes in, takes a shot. Huge stop, big rebound. Matheson trying to get the shot through right there. And again, Stenvig had to come up with a big stop. Matheson throws it inside the corner to Merriman. Merriman takes his time. And you can see the big Delta Hawk going in, getting everybody live. And Matheson shoots and scores. And the Ice Hawks come back and get one on the board after the goal for the Sockeyes was disallowed.
Momentum swings right back the other way.
Oh, there's their childish move again.
Ryden Matheson, along with Carson Merriman, Connor Merriman, the first line is reunited. They make absolutely no mistake, lodging traffic in front of Noah Stenvig's net. Matheson found an opening at the slot, absolutely wrists one top shelf. And the Delta Ice Hawks, as they've done all series long, get the first goal of the game.
I think that's a bit of a heartbreaker and a backbreaker right there for the Sockeyes, but no doubt we've seen them come back from being behind in the past. Ball gives it back on the far side. Out to center. They're trying to go after it. Romeo comes in, takes a shot, back around, taking a shot, drags it back, kicked in front, and they get another one on the board right there. And Cullen is livid. He's calling for it. He's saying it was offside. Cullen is not a happy camper.
And Colin Ravel has to contain his emotions here as well, because we've seen you do not want to argue with the referees, but this is that fourth line I told you about, Steve, earlier on with Dawson Toledo, Austin Koffler, and Michael Romeo. They baited Noah Stenvig down, and Stenvig could not get back up in time, and Koffler was right there. He gets the pass over to Toledo.
Cullen's biggest thing right there is he felt it was offside. He indicated by show of his arms, he felt it was offside probably by about 1.5 feet by indication. So
that goal will go to Dawson Toledo, who has his first of the playoffs to make it a 2-0 game.
And we should make mention also former Richmond Sockeyes as well. This is thrown all the way back down inside the zone with Ball chasing it. Icing is waved off. Grant goes after him. Baines pinches in. Knocked back down. Good dump and play. Strand threw it in, but they ruled it was offside. Said he reached behind him to get a call right there.
And you can make the argument that the Delta IceHawks have been the better team this series because, yes, the Richmond Sockeyes have won twice, but in that third period, or the first period of Game 3, Delta ended it with a 3-0 lead.
We'll see how it plays out from here. They go inside the zone. Strand takes his time. Baines comes in to try and get control of it. Sloberg goes inside. Sloberg's wide open in front of it. Nobody's on him. They take control. Now we have a wide open break with Baines going down the right side. Baines coming in. Looks, shoots off of the blocker that time of Shaughnessy and deflected out of play. That could have been a turnaround right there. Should that have gone in?
Indeed, and it's not like the Richmond Sockeyes have not gotten the opportunities. They've had a couple of beautiful opportunities. Of course, that first goal there was obviously waved off, which I really feel like was the momentum swing in favor of the Delta IceHawks, who now lead 2-0.
Well, I'm curious to see what the difference is between the time for the first goal and the time for the second goal, how many seconds it was apart between the two. We'll look at our stat sheet. So it goes back inside. You can hear Katie doing all the announcement. Of course, Women's Day on Friday, so big shout out to all the ladies and women listening in that do a marvelous job.
16 seconds was the differential between both.
Wow, that's huge. Shot deflected. Goes wide with McKnight pinching in. McKnight trying to get it back out behind the goal. Zempanta went back after this one, unable to get control. Katie actually does a good job of doing the announcing right there. I can actually understand what she's saying.
100%.
And that's not disrespectful. That's just being very honest. Goes the other way, trying to feed it back. Waits, McKnight throws it back to Zempanta. Zempanta comes in. Baines on the far side. Should have thrown it over to him. Changed their mind. Baines takes his time, centers it out in front. And the IceHawks work 3 out of their own zone. And it's intercepted by Kump, who tips it inside. Kump to Baines. Warburton goes back the other way. Warburton hustles his way down the far side across the line. Gang comes inside again. Gang centers it. Takes a shot off of the outside of the post this time. And it goes wide over in the far side corner. Warburton's off on it, James. They go the other way. Baines works in. Baines takes a high shot. You know, if players could hit the net, we'd have a score about 75-44.
Indeed, and both teams, it's been a knock on both teams, but the Delta IceHawks have capitalized on some of their opportunities, which is why it's a 2-0 game, albeit questionable.
Well, they never quit right after the first goal happened. They just got the jump right from the start.
You see the pace they're controlling right now. Delta is speeding back the other way.
Shot behind the net. They pick it back up. Kump holds onto it. Kump looks, gets it to the blue line area. Akimoto goes after it. William Ho goes after it. He gives a backhand inside the zone. Matheson stays with him, and Merriman picks this one back up. Merriman out to center, down the far right side. They come inside. Kump forces them wide to the outside. Stopped by Stenvig. And they pick it back up, but the net moved. I believe the net moved off its moorings again, so we'll fix it hopefully. Quick stoppage of play. 10:18 left in the opening period right now.
The net dislodged indeed, and we should make mention as well, the Richmond Sockeyes are without Michael McIntyre tonight, who's facing a 2-game suspension due to a head contact incident. Last game in Game 3 was against Peyton who is in the lineup tonight as well, and that is very big for the Delta IceHawks.
You know, we continue to say it over and over. The way you're going to get ahead in playoffs is all about discipline.
Indeed.
You have to stay disciplined, and I mean, I know that was a heavy hit the other night, but could it have been avoided? I know it's a fast game. I'm not going to second guess him, but nonetheless, he's missing a couple of key games tonight and this coming Thursday back in Richmond. And tonight's a big key game for the IceHawks. They have to win this one to tie the series up at 2. Across the line, they play it inside the zone. Bereza goes in against the boards. Grant stays with him. Bereza fights for it. Penalty coming up going against the Sockeyes. I think it's going to be a hooking penalty. Goaltender is out for the extra attacker. Shot stopped again.
Stenvig makes the save there, and it will be a hooking call indeed, Steve. You are absolutely right.
Just to jump in real quick, I was watching the goaltender change. The linesman glanced back at the goaltender to make sure the chain was going to be within the 10-foot distance, which is a good change. But when the linesman turned away, as he turned away to see what was unfolding, the player come on, and we're looking at Shaughnessy, was probably a good 30 feet out of the net. And that's where you're a linesman. You got to be on top of those things.
Indeed, and Noah Gibbons will serve this hooking call 2 minutes.
Far side, they throw it inside the corner again, trying to get control. William Ho gets it, dumps it out the neutral zone. Glove hand pass indicated. One to the other. Merriman knocks it down, then shakes his left hand off. He felt that one, no doubt. Merriman give it back around, and Matheson, or pardon me, Merriman picked it back up. So a lot of M's in the lineup for the Delta Ice Hawks.
A lot of M's indeed. 9:47 remaining in the first period. It's a 2-0 lead for the Delta Ice Hawks. A minute 53 remains in the penalty against Noah Gibbons.
So we'll see as Zhou's going to come in and take the draw, pushes it straight forward. Merriman picks this one back up. Merriman throws it back to Hemingway, who takes it back behind his own net, looks, holds on it, throws it out to the neutral zone. Now Matheson picks up some speed. Matheson down the left side. Matheson's in the middle now. He cut back the middle. Heavy check throw it against the boards. Minute and a half left in the minor penalty for the Sockeyes. Deflected back in the corner one more time. William Ho goes after it, trying to get it. Shot teed up, deflected off the back part of net. Goes wide again. And it's out the blue line with Hemingway keeping it back in the zone. Back to Matheson, back to Jang. Shot taken, stopped again. Good stop again, and that one by Stenvig. He's got to be alert. We were talking before the game actually started tonight. We were just, you and I were just bantering back and forth. Interesting to see, and you never like it to happen. What would happen if they had to put Mr. Reed in, Oliver in between the pipes?
Oliver Reed, he has not had playoff experience this year for the Richmond Sockeyes at all, and to put a goaltender in who hasn't played at all, a cold goaltender in a situation in a state as big as this, it would definitely be interesting.
It would be huge indeed. So waiting for it, unable to get control. Solberg's going to be the first one chasing this one back down inside his own zone, deep to the line, over in the corner this time. Sockeyes trying to get control out of his reach. Noren goes back to center. Lynn goes after his man now. They go down the far left side. Akimoto's in front. Strand has to be alert and stay in front of that, and this is ripped all the way down the ice again with about 50 seconds left in the power play for the Delta Ice Hawks as they're serving a penalty with Gibbons sitting in the box. Glances up, looks, Warburton's at center ice area. Trying to get control and able to. Lynn goes after his man. Stays with Peyton Hu. Unable to get control. Now they turn, and finally Solberg holds onto it, lost it to Ho. Down the far side again. Solid check thrown. Solberg was taken off the puck this time, trying to feed it to Akimoto, but Warburton steals it, and it goes back over the corner one more time. Just drifts this one all the way back. Blocked and stopped at the blue line. Now they cleared it a third time. Maybe they'll be lucky, and they were lucky the third. I guess best 2 out of 3. 2 never worked. The third one did. So it's back over against the boards left side. They hold on to this one. Akimoto inside his own zone. Far side. Gives it back over to Grant. Passed it back, but Grant's chasing it back the other way again. Unable to get control. Strand goes inside. Waits. Turns over the far side is Soares. Soares sets it back up. The minor penalty is over. And the Sockeyes are back at 5 aside. Full strength. Inside. Shaughnessy comes in. Holds onto it. Grant's all over him. Goes in, and now we'll have our half-period timeout right now. So let's take a look at the scoring summary first, and we get a chance right now for the first period with about 7:45 left in the first.
Indeed, and it was 6 minutes and 55 seconds in where Ryden Matheson opened the scoring for the Delta Ice Hawks after a goal was called back from the Sockeyes due to, I believe, there being a lot of traffic around and in Zach Shaughnessy's crease, and 15 or 16 seconds later, Dawson Toledo was able to capitalize as he got the assist from Michael Romeo and Austin Koffler. And Steve, I made mention that fourth line can definitely pay dividends for the Ice Hawks.
So you can see the coaching staff for the Delta Ice Hawks having a big chat with the teams right there. And the other part with that, interesting part, is that for the Sockeyes, you see Stenvig having a discussion with Oliver Reed over the far side as well.
And the thing about Noah Stenvig, this is something I've noticed throughout the first 13 minutes or so. He is leaving a lot of space open on the opposite side of his crease. If the puck is now coming in on the left side, that right side, he is going to be pretty far out of his crease as well. And as a goaltender, you want to avoid that because Delta, their formations are absolutely beautiful on the ice.
That's easier said than done if you're a goaltender because it's so reactionary and so fast. Toledo clears it out the center ice area with Romeo picking it back up. Romeo comes down inside. Ashby cuts in front. Unable to get control. It's over the far side. Ashby goes back to the blue line area. Toledo comes inside. Toledo attempted to get control, and Zampanta picks this one back up. Got it away from Koffler. Koffler goes in the corner. Matsuo comes in, unable to get control. Now it's kicked back out in front, and it rolls back to the blue line. And the Sockeyes trying to get it back out, but Baines couldn't clear that one back. Shot taken, stopped again by Stenvig. Goes wide. Stenvig got another shot. Goes over the far side corner again. Pushed out of the puck inside the corner again. That was Toledo that was taken down. Ashby goes after it. This is just lobbed all the way out to the neutral zone and down the ice. Chasing it inside is Grant. Grant reaches for it, trying to get it away from Koffler. Koffler almost taken out of the puck. Now they go inside the zone on the far side. Coming inside, shot taken, missed the target by a foot. Ueda He dumps it inside. Blocked by Romeo. Romeo gets up and over center ice area, but not over center. Just throw it inside. Stenvig obviously thought that was going to be icing because he came out of or not icing because he came out of that to stop it and play it. Ueda lobs it over, far right side corner. Taken off the puck by Matheson. They pushed off the puck. William Ho goes after it. Ueda's off on a line change for the Sockeyes. He goes off. McKnight comes on to replace him. Pushed in the corner. Matheson's over there. Trying to grab it. Rolls out to the neutral zone one more time. McKnight holds onto it. McKnight looks, changes his mind, gives it back over to Strand on the far side. Strand up over center, throws it deep inside the corner one more time. Zhao goes after it. Ball didn't know where a puck was. Took a funny hop. Back to McKnight. Ricks a shot. Grabbed by Shaughnessy. If Shaughnessy's going to have a lane in front of him like he did there, you see young Shaughnessy right there on the screen. Shaughnessy's going to stop those.
Indeed, and Zach Shaughnessy, he was injured for a crucial part of the season for the Delta Ice Hawks as well. And obviously we know that Jacob Zilic at the time was here. And when Jacob Zilic was traded over, Mason Upton was brought in alongside Remy Quintoro. They did a phenomenal job.
And he's eventually moved out as well. Now it goes back down the ice, the far side. They hustle the way in. Merriman comes in, beats the icing. So icing was waved off. Both Merriman's over in the corner on the far side, trying to get it back. Parmar's over on the hash marks left side, out in front. Unable to finish it back up. They had a chance, stopped again. Stenvig, a little bit of pushing ensues. McKnight goes in. This is where we talked earlier on discipline. Just back off and don't get baited into penalties because we know both teams are capable of baiting the other player in a penalty.
Both teams indeed, but I think the Sockeyes for the most part, right now they're getting outworked, I would say, on the physical end of things because they're missing key players like Ethan Grisham, for example. Now Michael McIntyre, he's out as well for a couple of games as well. Losing these players, it may not seem like a big thing on the offensive side, but you want to have those physical grinders on the ice to maintain that sort of
So from
identity.
the draw, it goes back to blue line. They hold on to it. Petrie goes back in his own zone, up to center ice area. Parmar thought about clearing it back in. Instead of that, gives it back over to Ho. Shaughnessy stops this one. Parmar works his way in, changed his mind, never got control. Now goes back out, and Warburton was expecting the pass, but they failed to give it to him that time. Jang tipped it inside, right side. Turning inside their zone. Ho throws it out to the blue line. That would stop Parmar. A long, extended, wide cross pass over on the far side. Out the right side boards, back out. Zhang comes inside. Zhao goes in, not going to get control. Unable to get control of this one. It rolls out to the blue line, cross pass. Now they go back with Warburton going down the far side. Warburton's pinned against the boards on that one right there by Soares. Soares stays with him. Lynn comes inside. The front of the net for the Sockeyes is completely wide open. Shot taken, stopped again by Soares. And the Sockeyes get out the center ice area. Good play to hustle it down. Noren goes in. One extra move at the blue line and Lynn. Lynn was wide open. There's that one extra move at the line I keep talking about. Get it over the line, then make your move.
Indeed, and you made mention on the other end, the Sockeyes leaving their net open as well, and we see Teo Lynn preparing. But I made mention, Steve, back to my train of thought, the Sockeyes leaving the net that open is going to come
Hold
back
that
to
thought
them.
right there. Far side again. We're back to live action. Inside off of the backboards. They'll pick it back up. Shaughnessy just give it away. Noren comes in. Back out. They cleared it out to the neutral ice area again. Now they tip it back in, and Ueda goes back to center. Peyton, who is at the hash marks over the left side, expecting to get control, never got control that way. And Akimoto has it. Akimoto stretch pass inside the zone again. Bereza comes in. Bereza's the first one inside. Now it's your turn.
Better safe than sorry there for Noah Stenvig. He decides to cover that one up, but he has been leaving the net open on many occasions so far in this first period. The first goal scored by Ryden Matheson was due to him having so much open space to find a place for the puck.
We'll see how this plays out right now. Far side, good long stretch pass. Deflected off of the screen. A couple players push and shove in front. That's Sloberg as well as Stewart.
4:21 remaining in the first period of this one. 2-0 is the score for the Delta Ice Hawks, who have once again outplayed the Richmond Sockeyes in the first period. We saw that last game 3 as well, but head coach Colin Revelle had quite the speech at the intermission, and Richmond scored 3 straight out of the gate in the second.
I can only imagine. We weren't privy to go to the dressing room, and I would not want to have been there anyway.
Indeed.
But they come back and they start an exceptional second period. But it's 2-0 right now for the Ice Hawks as Sloberg cuts to the middle, gives it to Akimoto. He lobs it over in the far left side corner. Ueda comes inside. Bereza goes after him. Matsuo, he takes it behind his own net and holds onto it. Matsuo sets it back up again, deep in the corner, misplayed it. Bereza goes after it, gets control, steals it, takes a shot. Peyton Hu goes after it and got the shot away. That was a giveaway coming out of the corner. Not what you want to have happen. Back out to Akimoto, throws it inside his zone again. Ashby Akimoto up over center, right side, clears it off of the wall. Goes back in again with Sloberg coming in, trying to feed it back around. Not going to grab it that way. Off of the boards, Noren is there. Shot taken, deflected in the right side corner. Stenvig had to be alert in that one. It's still in the corner. Matsuo goes inside. Feeds it back, and Akimoto gets it, and they eventually lob it all the way back out the center, and Noren just lobbed it in. And the Sockeyes having 3 off and 3 on a fast change. Rolls to center ice area. Back inside the zone again. The first one's going to go after. This one's going to be McKnight with about 3:12 left in the opening period. McKnight turns, waits. Romeo steals it from him. Romeo holds onto it. Got it away. Good reach on that one. And Koffler takes control and throws it back the middle part of the ice. Unable to get control. Waiting for it. Toledo couldn't grab it. Throw it in front. Toledo on the back end. And now finally the Sockeyes work it all the way out of their own zone. And McComb goes down. McComb sets it back up. Keelman rips a shot going after the rebound. He's pushed a little bit wide and away from the puck right now. Referee is quick to move in and separate everybody out of any possible problems they might ensue.
An excellent pass from Kai McComb along the left side on that play there. He dropped that one back to Alex Keelman. Zach Shaughnessy, though, was on top of it. And as Keelman went ahead, he could not slow himself down fast enough. Just bumped into Shaughnessy there, but that was unintentional.
So Keelman's going to come in and take the faceoff draw. He got it away that time from Matheson. Long stretch pass on the far side. Now they throw it out the center. Good play to get control of it. And they go back with McKnight working his way in. McKnight comes in. Gibbons goes in. Deflected up and out of play again. That's the one thing we've noticed is that if the Sockeyes are going to capitalize on any chance right there, any clearing play the Ice Hawks are going to dump out of their own zone, they've got to block the pass, put their body in front, their hand, their glove, anything to block the clearing play out that Delta's getting and being pretty successful on so far.
I've made mention of this the entire time, Steve, that Delta has simply outworked Richmond this first period, hence their 2-0 lead.
So we'll go back over the corner again, waiting for it. They're trying to get control. Merriman holds onto it. Gives it back to Merriman. Now Matheson. Matheson down the right side. Hustles his way in the corner. Takes a shot right through the blue paint over on the far side. And Merriman takes the reverse play. Stopped by Stenvig. Again, fast turnover right there.
A fast turnover indeed, and with 2:24 remaining in the first period, it'll be interesting to see what is said by head coach Colin Revelle at the intermission to try and inspire this Richmond Sockeyes team. Once again, the only difference is they're playing on enemy territory currently. This is not Minoru Arenas. This is the Ladner Leisure Center, home of the Ice Hawks, where they have been so phenomenal all season long.
I don't think he wants to inspire them. I think he wants to motivate them completely from the far side. And no doubt you and I are well aware of that Cullen knows how to do that.
Oh, 100%.
110%. Back to Zampanta. Zampanta goes wide, looks, going inside. Kump fan on the shot, trying to get it. Kump reaches for it a second time. The pass was actually behind him. Now Warburton goes down, trying to split the D, unable to. Warburton holds on it, takes a shot, deflected over the corner off of Sora's stick. And they're trying to clear it back out. Grant had it for a second, knocked out of the air, tennis style that time by Petrie. But the offside was nullified as they tagged up and get out of the zone. Stretch pass in front. Back to Baines in front of the penalty box area. Baines goes inside, takes a shot, stopped by Shaughnessy over in the far left side corner. Baines works in, Grant's the trailer. Grant trying to get control. Far side, Baines at the far side of the line. Soares couldn't hold on to it again. Back to Ueda. Ueda up over center. Zampanta, Grant off on a change. Baines continued to go inside after it. Baines is taken down, slow to get back up. A couple players collided inside the corner. Referee watching both of them pretty frantically to see how this is going to play out. Now rolls to center, and Ueda picks this one back up. Ueda back to Zhao, knocked back down by Hemingway out of there, tennis style. Ho goes after it, picks it back up to Zhao, and Zhao goes in. Zhao across the line, inside, takes it, slides it through the middle part of the ice, and Akimoto picks this one back up and hustles down the right side, trying to go inside. Cuts wide, gets past Ueda, still in control of it. Now they go back the other way. We're in the last minute of the first period right now. And the Ice Hawks are pressing inside the zone. Shot taken off of Stenvig, deflected off the top part of the glass, and they clear it out to the blue line. Was Daniel Zhao holding onto it. Zhao, right side to Ho. Zhao comes inside. Parmar's a trailer, unable to get control. Parmar's going to go after it, unable to finish it back up, and it's past Strand down the ice, inside the zone one more time. As Strand holds onto it. Watching the Sockeyes off on a change, Ho and Zhao, man, they look like they're tired. Really a slow line change compared to the line change that we're seeing for the Sockeye, or for Delta right now. Back out the center ice area again. Peyton Hu was taken out of the puck. First one going in Sloberg, then Stewart has control. Stewart goes down, Noren comes inside. They go across the line. Waits, still inside the corner. Good dump and play that time by Stewart. Stewart's trying to get control out of his reach. far right side, out to center, and Strand holds on to it, turns, just glances at the clock, knows there's about 5 seconds left, and now it's pretty much over, and comes to an abrupt end right about now. And the team's going to make their way to the dressing room, and it will be an interesting second period to see how this one all plays out. So we take a look right now. Let's take a look right now at the score for the stats after one period of play.
The stats after one period of play, we should make mention of our out-of-town scores as well. 7-1 is the final for Ridge Meadows. They take a 3-0 lead. But you made mention as well, Steve, after 20 minutes of play, this is a 2-0 lead for the Delta Ice Hawks. Shots on goal 17-11 in favor of the Ice Hawks. Both teams have had one power play each. Neither has capitalized on that power play. Ryden Matheson and Dawson Toledo opened the scoring with their goals being 16 seconds apart for the Delta Ice Hawks as they take a 2-0 lead. But I would not be worried if I was the Richmond Sockeyes just yet, because in the sport of hockey, anything can happen. And to be honest with you, Steve, after Game 3's first period, I was really doubting. I was like, okay, this game is over. There's no way anything happens. What happens? The Richmond Sockeyes scored 3 straight out of the gate. Now, I can't say that's going to happen every game as well, but there's still 40 minutes of hockey left to be played. 40 minutes is a very long time.
40 minutes to less than 60, but right now we're going to see how this one finishes out, because the one thing they want to do is just keep themselves going. And it'd be nice to be a fly on the wall in the dressing room right now to see what the coaching staff's going to be saying. But nonetheless, we know it's going to be an interesting period, the way it's going to finish off for period number 2 and 3. And we know that realistically speaking, I can't see Delta coming back and getting another couple of goals right off the bat, because I think you're going to have talk about a motivational speech. It's like getting one from your teaching instructor at school. They're going to get you on the board right now. And I'm going to see if we can get Rick Hopper over here right now. You did the out-of-town. Did you do the out-of-town scoreboard, the stats for the out-of-town?
We'll take a look at the stats as well. But just to comment on your thought as well, I know Colin Ravel is going to be saying quite the message to his Hawkeyes, but knowing Steve Robinson the way I do, he is not content, not satisfied, not happy with this 2-0 lead whatsoever. He's still going to continue to tell Delta, keep the foot on the gas pedal until obviously that things can be done and things can be finished off. But nonetheless, we'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard here. 7-1 was the final with Ridge Meadows and Chilliwack Jets. Of course, Ian Wilson, our broadcast partner, was calling that one out for Richmond, as shots on goal for that 41-27 in favor of the Ridge Meadows Flames. 11 power plays for Ridge Meadows, and discipline was quite the factor here for Chilliwack. And Ridge Meadows went 4 for 11 on the man advantage. 7 goals scored in the game, as well as Matteo Martini. Matteo Marini had 19 penalty minutes for the Chilliwack Jets, so I'm definitely interested to see what that's going to be about.
Yeah, Ian will tell us, no doubt. Very pleased to be joined by Ernie Punch McLean. Punch, thanks for doing this. Nice to have you out in the rink today.
Yeah, well, I came out with Rick Hopper, and he was here. We went last night and watched a game out in Ridge Meadows, and then he said, I need to go out now to Delta and see the game out there. So I said, fine, I'll be with you. So he picks me up and drives me out here and watch the game.
Good man. Bit of a different tempo game, fast-paced too.
Fast-paced. So you got there's some good skaters. Good. Yeah. There's some good skaters out there, really big time, you know. So and some good hockey players. I don't know their ages because, you know, they haven't got the list.
No,
you know,
they
I'm
don't.
used to getting that list, you know.
I know.
So
I
you know what's going on.
I know. Sorry, Punch. It's in the mail. It's in the mail.
Yeah.
But how does the talent level? I know the game has changed substantially. How does the talent level from what we're seeing now differ from what the players you had?
Skating is huge compared to back in our era. Yeah. I don't know what to skate, so they teach the kids, but I think if they ever put the red line back in, they wouldn't know how to play.
No.
You know.
Well, it's funny. Wayne Gretzky said that too.
Yeah.
You know, put the red line back and see what would happen.
Yeah. No, I don't think it'll ever happen.
No, I don't either. No.
The kids are too used to this style, this way to play. The National Hockey League is that way, you know, that we watch all the time. So it's going to be
bit of a difference anyway.
Further difference.
let's go from our attention from what we're watching right now to Tier 2 Junior A. Let's turn our attention and talk about the Canucks. Canucks are just, I think they're shocking everybody.
Yeah, well, I thought last night's game, they really shocked everybody because, you know, after they got beat badly 2 weeks ahead of that by Winnipeg, and then they played an outstanding game. They went to the body, hit hit every play, finished every play, moved the puck well, and and the first time I've ever seen a picture of two goaltenders get in the shutout.
That was a bit of a surprise. Do you think it's the coaching that's turned things around?
There's no question. Rick Tocchet does a huge job. He has the players playing to their abilities and his style of play.
That's what you want.
Yeah.
But it's such a difference. Why such a big change from when Bruce was here?
Different type of hockey players. Defense-wise, huge, tougher, go to the body, and now when Susie got back from being hurt, made tremendous difference. They win 3 on the road. They would come home and win the 4th. Now they got 9 games, I think, or 7 or 8 games at home in the month of March. And if they play like that against every team, we'll find out when they play against Colorado on Wednesday and then Washington on Saturday. So we'll see how they make out. And they're playing now. I think he's got them playing now like they're in the playoffs, where everything counts. You got to play that tough, aggressive game, and because it's going to be tough when you hit the playoffs.
How do you explain the play of Miller from last year to this year? How do you explain it?
Well, I think that Rick Tocchet's got him playing his way and what he wants them to do. You remember back, Miller got a 2-minute penalty, and then he was chirping at the referee, and so he got another 2 minutes. And then he sat out for 4 minutes. So when we got to the bench, Tocchet had him sit out another 4 minutes. So it was 8 minutes before he got back on the ice.
Sometimes you have to do that. You've got to play really hardball as a coach, and you know that firsthand.
Yeah. No. You got a system. You play my system, and you'll be out there. You don't play my system, and you won't be around.
Can you see another team right now, if they get when the playoffs arrive, can you see another team really giving them a real run?
Well, not if they play like they played last night, but things happen. Now, we don't know what's happened to goaltender, whether
Demko,
whether he's really hurt badly, or I don't think they talk about his groin, but I think that he got smacked on the hand pretty with a stick there, and then you saw us shake his hand, and then right after that he was gone. So I think it was just hurt his hand a bit. So I'm sure he'll be ready to go.
And the interesting part was that he pulled himself too.
Yeah, he did. Somebody asked me, one of the people asked me what happened. I said, well, his wife called him, so he went home.
Bottom line, just the way it worked out.
Yeah.
So we talk about the state of junior hockey in the province. I see you're sitting with good buddy Rick Hopper. He's with the new team over in the Coastal Tsunami over in Gibson. Yep. That's got to be a nice addition as well.
Yeah. No, I went over with the Canuck alumni when they got started there before Christmas. But the one that I'm surprised about right now, myself personally, is the BC Junior Hockey League, which is going independent, and I think they've changed the rules so badly. I can't see kids, if they get better as a 15 or 16-year-old, to get a chance to move up the ladder and go. They haven't got that opportunity, as I understand it, to go to play in the Western Canada Hockey League. So.
And I even hear rumblings that the Vancouver Island Junior League, the VIJHL, pulled out of BC Hockey as well, so now they've gone independent.
Yeah, I never heard that one, Stevie, but I think it's different. I don't know why they're doing it, and they say, well, you did it way back in 1968 when we went in. I said it was totally different. I said we had all the kids from Canada and kids from here, and we competed after, and we changed the rules in the league so that players could move on and go up the ladder and go to the National Hockey League, and that's what they wanted. That was when the WHA came in, changed the whole system, so we wanted to stay with the National Hockey League.
With the Memorial Cups you've won, is there one that stands out more than another one?
Oh, they all stand out. We had the best team in the first one, but we beat out Sherbrooke on Monday, we beat out Toronto Maple Leafs on Wednesday, then we didn't play till Sunday, and it was very difficult to keep their mind on. And Gordy Laxton, our goaltender, that really kept us there. It was his draft year, and he was having a bad game, and I decided not to put Staniowski in because he was being drafted, and so and actually he did, and he got to Pittsburgh. So that was for the players, not for me.
You've put a lot of players, you've helped a lot of players up to the NHL. what's the key for success? Because I look at these coaches now and they're saying, how did he do it, and what did he do different from what we have to do?
Well, you got to have the players that sit beside one another and believe in one another so that they can develop as a team, not as individuals. And when I see sometimes over at the Giants where a kid's going down, he's got the puck, the guy on the far side is a 2-on-1, and he's got the other guy with the net wide open. And what does he do? He fires the puck because he's looking after himself to move up the ladder. He's not a team man.
Yeah, selfish.
Yep, absolutely.
Completely. You've got to be a team player. You got to work for everybody. I mean, you know, you talk about goaltenders. I mean, there's 5 in front of him. Everybody complains about the goalies, but there's 5 in front of them.
Yeah, I know. I know you, but you got to have that goaltender. You got to have that. That's the big thing. And they used to ask me way back. He says, "How do you teach a goaltender?" I said, "If he's just stop the puck, he's a goaltender."
Yeah, that's all. Just stop the puck, right?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I remember when we played with John Garrett. If we got too far when we backed in front of John would take a stick and he'd actually swing it and hit us with the stick. So we'd have black and blue on the back of our heels saying, "Get out of my way, get out of my way."
Yeah.
And that was the tough part about it. So we learned fast to stay away from him.
Well, the same. I'm trying to think of the one in the National Hockey League. I think with the New York Islanders way back, and you got in front of his, you got the stick.
Oh, very much.
You got
very much. So talk about the Giants. I mean, the Giants are playing really well. They made the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm sure that they played the last 7-8 games.
Yeah.
After they made the changes, they made a few changes, and I think when they get Thorpe back, I understand he'll be back for the playoffs. He was the one that got cut with the skates, you know.
Yep.
So he's a good hockey player. I think that he's got talent to go to the National Hockey League from what I've seen privately. So
And
anyway,
the funny part with that is Tyler Thorpe used to play for the Richmond Sockeyes.
is that right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't follow that. You know, they just when I see him there, that's what happens. But that's the same as these kids here. You know, like they can develop and move up the ladder. If they want, if that's their decision to make, they can get the opportunities. I don't know if they. I don't know how the system works now.
It's changed.
It's changed, yeah.
It's changed.
So,
I say that with officiating. It's changed huge.
Yeah.
You know, from start to finish.
Yeah.
So we talked about the team and how they're doing with Miller. We'll talk about the pressure. Do you think the pressure was off Petey after he signed?
No. Well, sure something happened.
Oh, yeah.
Something changed his mind, and so very quickly, I think he was under a lot of pressure. And I don't know if they were talking to him all the time or asking him, or the players were, you know, are you going to go? Are you going to stay? You know, as a teammate for me. And then, you know, I think a lot of that was in his mind.
You think there was a little bit of pressure when rumor was going around that other teams were getting involved?
Well, who knows? I
Yeah.
mean, we don't know how that all happens, but somebody starts discussing something and doing that, and the next thing you know, it gets out into the press build it up, and then of course he's not playing well, so people say right away, is he hurt? What's happening? You know, does he want more money? You know, the whole story.
I know. So we look at the NHL right now. What is it about the European players that seem to be overtaking the Canadian players in the NHL, or North American players?
Well, there's been always great hockey players from the U.S. and in the National Hockey League from going way back. It started out with just the odd one or odd two ones, and now it's got into more because they're getting to play in the best league there is, the best hockey talent, the best that they can have. So I think that as we go, the scouting gets another one and brings them in, and he's usually a good hockey player.
Yeah, no kidding. Punch, thanks for this. I appreciate it. Continue success. Are you going to the game Tuesday for the Giants?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I
I'll see
thought
you
it
at
was
the Giants.
Wednesday.
Tuesday or Wednesday, this week anyway. Either way, I'll see you there.
Okay, thanks.
Okay,
Take
thanks,
care,
Punch.
bud.
Appreciate it. Thanks, sir. Thanks, Punch. All right, always great to talk to Punch. We see the teams coming back out on the ice right now, so we'll turn our attention to the ice and with the teams coming back out. So nice to be able to talk to, as I call, just a true gentleman for the world of sport, Ernie Punch McLean. And Ernie Punch McLean, say what you will, Ernie has put more players into the National Hockey League than any other coach.
One of the true pioneers of the sport is Ernie Punch McLean. Steve, you introduced us to each other when I first went to a Vancouver Giants game earlier this season, and whenever I see Punch at the Giants games as well, it's always a fun time to talk to Punch.
Oh, he's just He's hockey. He's Mr. Hockey. It's like Gordie Howe on the West Coast.
Indeed.
So they pick it back up. Going to be interesting to see what type of third period we have. Going inside, taking a shot, rebound. They score right off the bat. 8 seconds in. We just said that. What type of second period we can see? Now we see it right there. All started from the face-off with Lynn going down, and you can see all the parents just down to our right. All the Richmond Sockeye fans supporting everybody, waving their towels, supporting everybody, and what a start. That, I won't say surprised me. We knew they were going to come out with a fast start because we know the motivation that Cullen gives the players. Will that lead to another one? 2-1 right now. Wow. Let's see Trevor Alto over to our broadcast. Left the commissioner for the PJHL. Shot off of the wall, out the blue line. Lynn picks this one back up. Lynn turns straight up the middle part to Noren. Noren tips it inside. Stopped by Shaughnessy. 2 quick starts. 21 seconds in. Now we get a pushing play ensue.
And I just wanted to talk about that last goal as well. Nick Noren with the initial shot on net. And Teo Lynn made no mistake with the one. He had his stick held with one hand, gently taps it in. And Mr. Erickson, you are indeed a wizard. What type of period will the Sockeyes have? Like 2 seconds later, they scored. So we'll have to see if they can continue.
I was going to see what type of team come out, what type of lineup they put up, but now we know. So it goes back again. Shot, rebounds, going inside. Not going to finish this one back up, but they had a chance. They're getting chance after chance right now. They pinch inside again. Matsuo rips a shot, deflected. Shaughnessy got a piece of that one. Far side, Grant turns, throws it back behind the net. Zampanta's out there, unable to get control. Baines takes his time. He goes against the board. Matheson pins him there. Petrie comes inside. Zampanta's off the wall. High shot taken over the right side with Merriman coming after this one. Unable to hold it on side. It goes back inside the zone. Now we'll have an icing call. Face off back down inside the Ice Hawk zone one more time. 58 seconds played so far in the middle period. 2-1. Shot 17-15 in favor of Delta.
And all it took was for the Richmond Sockeyes to win the face-off. They were using the pace, should I say, to their advantage, playing at their pace throughout the first 10 seconds of the period, hence the 2-1 goal.
So we're back from the draw. They pulled it back. Kump was calling for it, not going to get control. The puck is loose. They're scrambling. Failed to hold on to it this time. What a chance right there for the Sockeyes. Now it rolls out the center ice area. Soares, far side. Back to Zhao. Zhao trying to get it. Looks, he picks it back up again and gives it inside to Soares. Soares slides it back to Kump. A little feeble pass right there. I don't think he expected that one. Now they go out the center ice area. Heavy check throw, and Kump was bumped off the puck that time by Merriman. And it's over in the far side zone. Merriman coming inside. Off of the boards. Zhao. Soares goes after it. Unable to finish it back up. Now Zhao goes after his man. Left side. Back over again. Joe Hall. Back pass in the corner. Koffler comes in underneath Soares. Now my biggest pet peeve right there. The puck is frozen. Everybody wants to keep it going. But in that case, good call by the officials. And I think there's more pressure on the officials in a game like this than there is on the teams.
Indeed, there is. And a better start for the Richmond Sockeyes here in the second period. Nonetheless, but when the Delta Ice Hawks have been able to get the puck inside the offensive zone, they use their time in the zone wisely.
Very wisely. So Soares, Kump off on a change for the Sockeyes. So new center coming in. I don't know why they just don't do it at the NHL. Put your arm up and let him have a secondary chance at it right there. Joe Hall gets it from the draw. Joe Hall pulls it back, far side, throws it back over. Toledo slides it. The net is off. So the net moved off its moorings. We have a stoppage to play again. And I believe it's going to be over. Well, we have two sides to pick from, so I'm not going to guess.
Indeed, and sometimes in that case, when the net comes off after the initial puck has been shot off, you see the referees trying to fix it up. When the shot, or I'll hold this thought actually, and we'll continue it on as
I was
play
more
is set
impressed
to
with the
continue.
camera work than the officials set the net. Sophie, good job on Sophie on that one. Joe Hall pinches in, waits, unable to get control. Left side boards. William Ho is there. Toledo goes over. Backhand shot. Stop. Goes over in the far side boards again. And finally, they hustle their way back down across the line. Inside the zone. Parmar was leveled against the boards. He gets back up. Romeo is behind both D out there. Now they glance. McKnight glanced over his shoulder. Now they give it back to Romeo, and he turns. Got it inside the zone. Got past Keelman. Right side boards. Heavy high hit behind the net. Out the center ice area, and Romeo picks it back up. Trying to give it back to Joe Hall. Misplayed it. Taken out of the puck, and Keelman couldn't grab it. Now they go inside. Toledo takes a high shot. Oh, that was over top the net. Trying to finish it back up. Now we have a 2-on-1 breakout play. McKnight goes back down with Gibbons. McKnight rips a shot. Narrowly missed the top right corner. Got the shot through traffic. They're pinching it again. Strand goes back to his own blue line, stops it at the center zone, throws it up, and it deflected out of play. So I think the faceoff will be in the neutral zone, just below the penalty box, just to the right side in the neutral zone.
With that puck last play at Noah Stenvik's net, the net did come off of the line, but in some cases, if the net coming off the line has nothing to do with the initial shot taken towards the net, sometimes referees do count that goal. And Steve, I know you know that rule quite wisely.
I do. The rules have changed, some for the better, some not so much, according to the rule book by me.
Steve's rule book.
Yeah.
Coming soon.
I just want the good game, and I want it to be played safe.
Hopefully I get a copy of the rule
Yeah,
book.
well, I'll show you one of my old ones. Coming out of the corner, trying to grab it, Mansuo rips a shot. Stewart couldn't get control. They go back out to center. Warburton's hammered against the wall. Coaching staff for Delta thought there might have been a penalty. Referees thought otherwise. Lynn couldn't get control. Lynn comes inside. Padzurski goes in. That's the first shift we've seen him on the ice so far for the Ice Hawks. Haven't seen him on the ice yet until now. Now on the left side, Jang comes in. Jang's going to be the trailer. Stopped by Stenvik. Goes back behind the goal. Matsuo comes in. Right side boards. Lynn's calling for it. Unable to get control off of the boards. Lynn stays with his man. Good reach, get back on side by Ashby. Got it away from Ueda. And they come out of the corner one more time, and Lynn picks it up. Lynn out of his own blue line. Misplayed it, fanned on the shot. Now Jang throws it inside. Heavy hit by Stewart. And then Stewart threw that one back in. Norton was taken off the puck by Ashby behind the play. Really behind the play. Then Norton's off on a change. Matsuo up the center, trying to feed it loose this time. Up, deflected, up and out of play. So a souvenir for somebody. And we'll get another puck.
16.
Good tempo.
Good tempo indeed. It's been quite back and forth so far in the second period, to say the least. A better start for the Richmond Sockeyes indeed. For the Delta IceHawks, though, they'll have to continue and find what gave them so much success in the first and try and include that here in the second.
Well, they had a fast start, which you and I were alluding to. It was all about the start of the game. They got what they wanted. So Grant comes down. Grant goes inside with Zampanta, sets it back up, drop pass. Now Soares comes in from the right side, takes a shot off of the back wall. Baines is going to chase it back around. Baines picks it back up, clears it past everybody, and they lobbed it inside the zone one more time. Now it goes to center, and Bereza, but it's pinned against the boards. Bereza taken off of the puck easily that time. Baines stays with him. Grant comes inside to help out. Hemingway gets it, left side boards, goes inside. Zampanta picks it back up. Throws it the middle part of the ice up to Grant. Grant goes down, kicks it forward this time like he's playing soccer for the Whitecaps. Deep in the corner. Grant still goes after it. Taken down. Penalty coming up right now, and I believe this penalty is going to be going against the Delta IceHawks. And they do.
Indeed, it will be a boarding call here against the Delta IceHawks. And we made mention how important discipline is. In this case, I believe this penalty will be going against number 3.
Hemingway.
And that will be Carson Hemingway. Indeed, 2 minutes for boarding. A crucial power play coming up for the Richmond Sockeyes. I would also like to make mention here, Steve, we are joined today by some of the Vancouver Giants. I saw Jaden Lipinski and Tyler Thorpe. They're both here as well. So
yes.
Big welcome to the Vancouver Giants.
Well, of course, Thorpe, former Richmond Sockeye, once come out. Of course, this is the practice facility for the Vancouver Giants. And congratulations to the Giants on making the playoffs.
Big football news as well. Russell Wilson plans to sign with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So for all of our football fans out there, big news on Sunday.
That is huge. See how this one plays out.
Because obviously we had a lot of Seahawks fans here in BC as well.
Oh,
so
we
big
do.
news.
They're all wondered why he left Seattle, too. Far side corner. Shot off of the boards. It goes back behind the net again as they pick this one back up. Back out to Lynn. Lynn back to Ueda. Ueda back to Lynn. Cuts his way in. Cross pass far side again. Shot taken. Baines got the shot away, and Shaughnessy had to be alert in that one.
And the one thing on this power play as well for the Richmond Sockeyes is, will they get their defenseman to pinch on in? We've seen that with Matthias Ueda as well multiple times these playoffs, but it's crucial to have a man back at the line just in case.
Well, Lynn pinches in, and after Lynn got the puck, he pinches in just like he does right here. This time he goes deep to the hash marks. Waits as he goes inside. Ueda cuts back for him. Baines went inside now. Now Ueda couldn't hold on to it. Ueda far side again, throwing it inside. Lynn gets it over to Baines. Baines inside the zone, back to Ueda. Ueda takes his time, looks, comes out the right side out of his own zone in front of the penalty box area, up and over center, and rips it off of the wall, and Shaughnessy comes out to stop it, and he attempted to clear it back out. It was blocked back down by Baines. Baines, middle part of the ice. Ueda just tips it all the way over on the far side, this time to Lynn. Stretch pass deep in the corner. Baines goes after it. Joe Hall stays with him. Grant is out in front, couldn't finish it back off, and it goes back out the middle part of the ice with a minute left in the power play for the Richmond Sockeyes. Far side again. Good hustle to come back inside. Zhao couldn't finish it back up. Now it goes against the boards, and Koffler will hold on to it. Koffler turns, unable to clear it back out. Bain steals it. Merriman goes after it. Feeding it back out, taking a shot, knocked back down, couldn't put it in. Tennis-style swing right there. Heavy check thrown against the boards. Plate carries right on. Far side again. Akimoto's taken down. Akimoto gets back up, watches the play. Joe Hall cuts back the middle. Zhao is out in front. Koffler is there. Looks, trying to feed it back to Zhao. They did, got the shot away. A little bit of delay on the shot right there. Should have released it as quick as he got it. Far side. Zhao goes inside, waits. In middle, Noren takes a shot. Scrambly play. This is cleared back out. They're getting chance after chance. He's unable to finish it back off on a foot race. So Merriman hustles his way inside. Merriman, solid job forechecking. He went inside. The other three went off on a change. This is cleared down the ice. Icing waved off. They play the hybrid icing. Keelman's over in the corner on the far side. The minor penalty is over. And Hemingway comes back on the ice. As he stepped back on, McKnight watching him back on. Out in front is Noren. Noren couldn't finish it back off. Zampanta's out there. A couple of other players collide. Now they're over on the right side again, trying to feed it back. Keelman looks in the corner. Keelman holds onto it. McKnight's calling for it. Unable to get control. Now he gets control. McKnight rips a shot. Narrowly missed the outside right post this time. McKnight continues to press back inside again, and they hold onto it. Keelman goes back to the center line. Waits. 2-on-1 breakout now. They go back the other way with McKnight lobbing it inside the zone. Gibbons comes in, out of his reach. It's past everybody. And icing is waved off. They said it took a deflection. Cullen is questioning who it took a deflection off, and I fully agree with Cullen. That never hit anybody. Just a long stretch pass. The only thing that hit was the two sticks. There was no deflection on that at all. Fully agree on that one. Out the center. Warburton goes in, gets behind the knee. With the stick going in, taking a huge shot. The net moves. We're going to have a penalty called right now. And what are we going to have? A penalty?
Declan Warburton was sent down, and this will be, I don't know if it's a tripping call or a kneeing call.
No, it's a trip.
It seems like it's a trip. This will go against Justin McKnight. He's arguing the call as well. But Declan Warburton, great awareness to find a breakthrough opportunity as he was driving towards the net. McKnight came up from behind and tripped him.
And you can see him talking to the referee right there real quick.
The
other part with that was you would rather have a trip than a knee. A knee is 4 minutes. You don't want a kneeing penalty right there. I was waiting to make my call because I wasn't sure whether they were going to call a tripping penalty or a penalty shot.
Could have been either way. Could have been either way indeed. But a crucial power play now for the Delta Ice Sox as they try and regain their 2-goal lead.
Well, the penalty for tripping is a correct call. I would never have even thought about a penalty shot in that, but everybody thinks different from me. Left side boards. They're trying to go after it. Sloberg goes inside. Sloberg's trying to get control out of his reach. Warburton comes inside, not going to grab it. Now it's dobbed all the way down the ice again. And out of the net to stop this one, Shaughnessy. And Shaughnessy will leave this one for Akimoto. Zhao comes inside, turns in front. William Ho goes after him. He's trying to get control. Zhao is in there. Now Bereza picks up some speed down the left side. Bereza goes inside. Peyton Hu is out there. He's over in the far left side post. Warburton's out in front. Akimoto's out there. This is a big penalty kill right now for the Sockeyes. In the corner, Peyton Hu, far side. Warburton takes a shot, deflects out of play. And the faceoff will stay deep inside the corner. You talk about a big penalty kill. This is bigger than big.
Indeed it is, and a great first half to the second period for the Richmond Sockeyes as well. They obviously were trailing in the shots 17-11 at the end of one. They've now retaken the lead 19-18. It all began with that sequence to start the second period to get the goal, and their offense has been aggressive since.
From the draw, they're trying to get it back. Merriman's over on the far side. Hemingway's on the right side. Merriman throws it inside the corner. Shot fanned on it by Merriman this time. Couldn't get it through traffic. And now they hustle away now with Noren coming in the left side. Noren drags it, sets it back up. Lind and Noren shoots, scores! And the Sockeyes tie the game on another shorthanded goal.
A shorthanded beauty. What a setup from Teo Lind. Makes no mistake feeding it to the left side. And this all began due to the efforts of Lind. I should make mention, a beautiful pass, a beautiful goal, and the Sockeyes tied up at 2, shorthanded.
I'm watching the coach, I'm watching Cullen over on the bench. He's walking up and down the back of that bench like he's an expectant father.
Indeed, he's firing up the boys as this is a brand new game, Steve. It's all back to square one.
It's like starting at 0 all over. And of course, let's not forget the Sockeyes are leading the series 2-1 as well. Out to the blue line, keeping it onside. Noren hustles his way in. Noren goes in, Lind's in the corner, in front. Noren shoots, scores! Another goal! Tic-tac-toe! Can you believe it? it.
Two short-handed goals yet again. The Richmond Sockeyes once again. And who else is it? It's the Lynn to Norin connection. They make no mistake short-handed. We made mention of the two Delta goals in the first period, 16 seconds apart. It has to be similar time frames between these two goals as well. And the Sockeyes have risen from the dead yet again, down to nothing now, lead 3-2, and two short-handed goals. Steve,
So
that's massive.
If you're Colin Ravel, do you tell McKnight stay in the penalty box?
Oh, you
Wow.
could do either or.
What a turn of events right now. So Bereza gets it from the draw. He goes down the right side, pinned against the boards by Ueda. Bereza out of the corner, back out again, long shot taken, deflected, stopped again.
And it will all begin from how Noah Stenvik decides to play the rest of this period. The offense has come to fire for the Richmond Sockeyes, and short-handed as well. That is a very hard task to do, as the face-off will be to the left of Stenvik.
This is huge. Ashby drags it, shot stopped by Stenvik. Holds on to it again. Cleared it all the way down the ice as they clear it. Nice dump out play. Grant's going to be the first one coming inside. They look over their shoulder. They know they've still got the minor penalty being served with another 15 seconds. This goes all the way down the far side. Icing waved off. Delta beat them on the hybrid icing. Ashby goes over the far side again. Baines comes in. Baines back pass, clears it back out. Nakimoto gets it at center. Turns, gets away from Grant, gives it away. Slowbird's over on the far left side. Minor penalty is over. McKnight returns back to the ice. Back out the middle. Slowbird goes in, cuts wide, takes a shot, deflected. Bereza goes in the corner. Pushed off the puck. Plate carries right on. Solid defensive play right now by the Sockeyes. They're trying to get control. They do. They give it back to McKnight. And McKnight, a long lob pass out the center. Taken off the puck, though, by finishing off the Slowbird. Across the line. Soares throws it, not out. Kept against the boards with Akimoto going after it. Couple players push in front of the net. Slowbird couldn't get control. Shot taken, missed the post by about 40 feet. And it rolls all the way back out the center. And Akimoto will turn it again.
Very poor defense by the Richmond Sockeyes. You left Ashby wide open, and that could have easily been a goal.
I don't think they expected him to come in there, but boy, he sure got behind the D, as you alluded to. Shot stopped by Stenvik. Rebound goes over against the boards, and Gibbons comes out to center, looks, jumps at it. Ball stays with him, and Joe Hall goes inside and picks it back up. Joe Hall behind his own net, off of the glass. Out to Soares. Soares trying to get control. Toledo bumps Soares. They go against the boards. And we have a stoppage of play. Got a player down on the ice right now. A little bit more of a scrum coming inside. McKnight comes in, pulled a couple players down, and now as they separate everybody, now we're going to have our half-period timeout right about now. So we give the out-of-town score the final right now. So let's do a scoring summary for the second period real quick.
For the second
as we
period,
get Sophie to just pan the benches.
Indeed, and to make mention, it was a 7-1 final for the Rich Meadows Flames. They won, but here in this period, Steve, it began with a Teo Lynn goal 8 seconds in, and following that, Nicholas Norin and Teo Lynn combined for both goals. Both were scored by Norin, both were assisted by Lynn, both shorthanded, and these goals, Steve, were once again, take note of this, 16 seconds apart.
Wow. And what was the difference between the two goals in the first period for Delta?
16 seconds.
Wow.
There you go.
And here's a bit of tidbit information for you. When Bobby Hull first signed in the NHL and he played for Chicago, he wore number 16.
Wow. And Bobby Orr, the NHL put out that his iconic goal against the St. Louis Blues was today on March 10th, but in reality it was May 10th. So I don't know what the NHL is thinking, if they got the dates wrong in their archives. But the Richmond Sockeyes, if you are the Sockeyes now, you cannot be content with a one-goal lead. The Delta Ice Hawks can turn it on at the snap of their fingers.
I wonder why the slow start, though, the way it all started out. But man, what a turnaround of events right now. So from the draw, they got it back. McKnight got the draw. Keelman threw it back to him this time. It goes in the corner. Joe Hall's coming inside. Now Ball picks it behind his own net. Ball back around to Joe Hall. Joe Hall off the glass. Trying to get it back around. They did. They got it to the blue line. Grant stays with his man. And it goes inside the zone with McComb throwing it in the middle part of the ice. And Strand will pick this one back up. Strand turns behind his own goal. Shoots it off of the boards out to the blue line area. Couldn't get it back to Gibbons. Thrown inside again. Koffler turns reverses. Toledo comes inside. Romeo goes inside again. Over in the corner on the far left side again. They chase it back. And as they get it back to center, Koffler holds on to it. Koffler far side to Ball. Ball out to Toledo, throw it inside the corner, deep in the zone, but we have an icing call going against Delta, so no line change with 8:46 left in the middle period. 3-2, Sockeyes shock Delta and come back on the reverse with the shots tied at 21.
The shots are tied at 21, and that is indeed an indication of how this matchup has gone. Delta controlled the energy for most of the first period, if not all of it. Richmond comes right back and ties it up and then take the lead. They're matching Delta's energy.
Shot behind the goal. They're going after it again, trying to get control. Staying with them over on the far side. See who's going to come out of the board with it. Ball is against the board. It's underneath everybody. There's my pet peeve again. I just worry about safety in a play like that. I think somebody's going to get hurt. And that's the last thing I want to have happen in any game. Shot out the center. Grab. Zhao couldn't get control, and Soares intercepts it. Soares out to Parmar. Back to Zhao. Zhao throws it, gets it past Toledo. Unable to get it any farther now. Ho's going after it. Trying to switch it loose, and this is just dumped up, and we almost had a shot on the spare goaltender.
Yes, backup goaltender Remy Quintoro will go back down the stairs to collect this puck, but I think the referees will get a new one from Katie down at the PA box as well, serving in for Ryan, obviously, and she's doing a phenomenal job at that.
Now, Mick mentioned why you get a new one instead of using the old, because you don't know when the old one goes out and hits the cement. It might be a bit of a chip out of it or something like that, so you always get a new puck. Unless it's minor hockey, then you get what you get. Sometimes you only got one puck. Matsuo comes inside from the blue line area. Matsuo pinches in, waits, unable to finish it back off. Now they throw it back to the blue line. Misplayed it again. Lynn couldn't get control. Throw it inside. Delayed offside, nullified. And it reverses inside the zone again. Warburton going in, takes a shot. Stopped again. Nice stop.
There's Declan Warburton on the breakthrough yet again. That's twice he's had that opportunity this period.
Stenvig standing tall.
As he should.
One I feel sorry for is Thomas Popa.
We'll get into that later on.
We will. That we will. And we're not the coaching staff, so I'm not going to even debate what the coaches think. I would never coach. I have a hard enough time when I refereed. Shot inside. I sympathize with coaches. I really do. They have all the most respect in the world for me. They really do. Them, the managers, and the owners. Out the center ice area. Ueda intercepts it. Matsuo's at center. Grant couldn't get control. Pass Zampanta down the ice, and another stoppage with an icing call. Again, no change for the Sockeyes in this one.
We talked about Thomas Pope earlier on. He is good friends with the current goaltender for the Delta Ice Hawks, Zach Shaughnessy, who has done a phenomenal job at that as well. 18 saves on 21 shots. It's just that the Sockeyes turned that switch on immediately that those goals were scored against him.
So waiting for it. So see, this time they didn't throw him out. They just went, put their arm up, and they let him take the draw. Versus the last time. Shot tipped in front, rebound. So I'm confused. Zampanta throws it down, waits, Baines coming in. Ueda takes a shot, Baines is out in front, failed to get control. Baines goes after his man over on the far side. Continues to press inside, trying to get control. Merriman's at center. Sockeyes running 3 on the back end right now. Out the center again, across the line, carefully played. It's really inside the zone deep. Matheson throws it in front. This is knocked loose, and they finally clear it back the other way with Grant hustling down the right side. Grant across the line, cuts it back in, goes to the far left side, stays with it. He's in there. Zampanta's going to go after it over in the far right side corner. As he goes after this one, Merriman pushes him off of the puck. Akimoto comes inside. Matheson now comes inside. McKnight's at the line calling for it. See how this one's going to play out. Unable to do anything with it right now, and they're going to go the other way. They'll continue to press back after this one as they hold on to it. Zampanta trying to get it loose. He did. He succeeded. Akimoto gets a high hit, takes him off the puck. And it's back over the right side corner again as they pick this one back up and they lob it out to center ice area. Strand holds onto it. Carefully played. You got to wait till they come off the ice before you come on the ice. That could have been a dangerous change of that one right there. McComb comes inside. McComb goes after his man, goes inside, steals it this time. McComb presses inside again. Solid check throw it in the corner. Bodies are flying fast and furious down there, just like a movie back in Hollywood. Straight in the corner, right side. Peyton Hu comes in, not going to get control. Zhao goes in. McKnight takes his man out of the puck, and finally the Sockeyes hustle away down the far side. They come inside. Peyton Hu is there. Shot stopped again. Stenvig holds onto it. Glove work, Sunshine. No, put it up top.
A flash of the glove from Noah Stenvig and Steve. When the Sockeyes scored their third goal there, I made mention Noah Stenvig's play was going to dictate how the Sockeyes end up doing the rest of the second period, and there's still a lot more time remaining here in the second. We'll see what the Delta Ice Hawks throw at Stenvig and what he responds back with.
Of course, putting him in between the pipes, big motivation for him. Shot deflected, that was blocked. Ho picks it back up, gives it back on the far side. Nice play. Kump comes in the corner. I think that's the first or second shift we've seen Kump in the second period on the ice so far. Probably used sparingly and utilized the way they want. Bereza's taken out of the puck, gets it inside. Got it past Ho this time. Ho's the trailer. Zal throws it over on the far side. Ho comes after this one, trying to get it. Rolls to the middle part of the ice again, and they pick up some valuable speed. Straight down. Kump throws it in, right on target. Shaughnessy wisely will hold on that one. He didn't want to give that one. You saw how he grabbed it and stopped and just literally turned around. He looks like tired. He's looking. You can see him right here on the camera, leaning on the goalpost right there.
Better safe than sorry, and we take a look at Zach Shaughnessy as well. He deserves every right to be tired. He is one of the main reasons why the Delta Ice Hawks have been playing so well against the Sockeyes this series.
4:55 left, middle period. From the draw, they cleared all the way out to the middle part of the ice again. Up over center. Toledo ripped it back in. Mentioned early on, Toledo, former Richmond Sockeyes last year, then moved on to Grandview, and then eventually made his way back to Delta, or into Delta rather. Goes on the far side again. Zhao looks off of the wall, out the middle part of the ice, up to Parmar, and Parmar just dangles it back in over the left side corner. Parmar is off on a fast change. As he goes off, Noren comes on to replace him. Noren, the speedster from Vernon. Cuts back, stays with his man, shot over the far side boards again. Ho out to Noren. Noren goes back down the left side, now cuts to the middle. Noren goes wide to the right side, stops, turns, off the wall. Stays with his man, continue to press back inside. Had it for a second, out to Matsuo. Matsuo looks, I don't know if he knew Koffler was coming up behind him or not. So they, go ahead.
Yeah, indeed. You made mention as well. Austin Koffler, he has been so good on both sides of the ice for the Ice Hawks. A reason why he has that ability to sneak up on you.
Well, he snuck in behind him right there, and he was behind everybody. I didn't even know if they saw him coming or even heard him, but maybe they might have. Koffler waits, back over, trying to get it back to Toledo. Toledo's in the corner, turns behind the net, trying the wraparound, able to finish it back up. Now it goes the line. Left side, Hemingway dishes it inside. Hemingway deep inside the corner. Back out. Shot taken by Koffler. He fanned on it. Now Lynn picks it up and goes back the other way. Lynn hustles his way back in. Cut to the middle. Drags it. Goes inside. Fanned on it. Shot right there. And Petrie stays with him. Trying to get it. Shot taken. Stop. Oh, what a chance right there. And Zempanta had an exceptional chance right there. Just couldn't finish it back off. By correction, I think that was Noren. I saw a 9. And of course, Zempanta, formerly from St. George's. Far side again. Grant. Down the middle part of the ice, goes in, goes to middle, looks, fans on the shot, taking a chance right there. Pinned against the board, this time by Ashby. Back to McKnight. McKnight, left side ward. Strand rips it inside, takes a shot, scrambly play. McKnight now goes back to his own blue line. Just under 3 left in the middle period. Icing called going against Delta. And I don't know who's more concerned about the way the game is going as far as which coach I'm looking at.
Both coaches indeed have every right to be concerned. This is still anybody's game. It's only 3-2 for the Sockeyes. For Colin Ravel, you have a bit of stress lifted off of your shoulders taking the lead, but still, you know this Delta Ice Hawks team has the ability to turn it up as soon as they want to.
No quit Ice Hawks. We've seen that before, over and over and over.
Of course, we have the opportunity to cover the Ice Hawks on Eastlink TV this season as well.
We do. Baines goes inside, gets control. Baines holds onto it. Trying to throw it back to the D, but it was knocked out of his stick. And it goes back the other way. Good defensive play on this one. Waiting for it. Padzurski couldn't finish it off. Now Grant goes down the left side. Grant comes in. Zempanta's a trailer. Grant goes against the boards. Warburton's trying to cut the lane off, unable to finish it back up. Knock goes over on the far right side boards one more time. And they hold on to this one as they chase it back. Long shot taken by Baines. Stopped again by Shaughnessy. Shaughnessy, a little bit of a dish play, a little bit of a feeble dish play right there. Out to center. In front of the bench, Kump gets it, rips it off of the wall. Warburton throws it inside, it hit him.
Offside.
So now, yeah, we'll have it offside.
And one thing about the Sockeyes, Steve, this period as well, they have changed their defensive formations. We see that Steve Robertson having a talk, but just to get back to my train of thought, the Sockeyes have changed their defensive formations. They're now playing man-to-man coverage. It has worked out to their success this period so far.
We'll see how it finishes off for the remainder 2:15 in the middle period right now. Inside the zone, Ball goes after it. Ball gives it back over to Joe Hall. Joe Hall out the center. Merriman bumped off the puck by Ho. Shot taken, stop, rebound. Finishing play, couldn't finish it. What a chance right there. That was off of the blocker, right on target. And Stenvig had that hit his blocker, and if that had gone in, boy, oh boy, would have been an entertaining third period, but we're going to have an entertaining third period. You can see the Sockeyes, all 3 of them having a discussion right in front of the goal.
And this is why the first reason against the Delta Ice Hawks was the first goal was scored against Zach Shaughnessy. There was a puck loose right behind Shaughnessy where Theo Lynn was able to pick up the loose puck and bury it past Shaughnessy. Noah Stenvig almost made the same mistake.
Well, between Soares and Kump, there was obviously a bit of a discussion. Something went south when not what they expected. That's why they had the discussion after the stoppage of play. Matheson comes in, takes Matsuo against the boards, pins him down, low check on the back. Out to the blue line, shot taken, stopped, deflected back in the corner again. Stenvik watch it. Joe Hall comes in, getting a chance, trying to feed it loose. I think the net moved again. I'm looking right now, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. I heard a whistle.
You're not the only one, Steven.
Yeah, it is. The net moved, as you can see right there.
Indeed, and the net did move a little bit, and perhaps you could say a big break for the Sockeyes there. The Ice Hawks are really turning it up now inside the offensive zone.
We've got to make a signal for when the net moves. Like
Indeed.
A square box or
There
something,
has to
saying
be-
that
there has
anything.
to
There's
be
got
a
to be a
signal.
signal so everybody knows what's going on,
Indeed.
other than just listening to the whistle. William Ho takes a shot, stopped again. Stenvik come up, big save right off of that one. That was a win off the draw on a fast release.
Indeed, 24 saves now on the evening for goaltender Noah Stenvik. And when you're called upon on the big stage, you have to deliver. So far, he's done his job.
So from the draw, they're trying to grab it. McKnight stayed with his man. Lynn comes inside. Of course, Lynn's brother's going to be up playing with the Vancouver Giants next year. You alluded to the fact that some of the players are in the building. It's still inside the corner. Bereza goes over on the far side. Stewart stays with him. Bereza gives him a pitchfork right between the legs. Inside again, going over the far side. Tipped in front by Bereza. Couldn't finish it off. Bereza goes after Stewart. And it's back the other way out to the line. Waiting for it. Petrie keeps it in. Lynn comes inside. Lynn intercepts this one and goes back the other way and turns out the middle part of the ice again, and Norn goes down, and it's the last minute in period number 2 right now. Right on goal, big stop, nice move. And Stenvik, good move and hold on that one, real quick stop. I was watching Bereza and Stewart in front, and Bereza was working him over like a ragdoll.
Indeed, and I made mention as well, the Delta Ice Hawks physically have been outmatching the Richmond Sockeyes, and that's not something that many teams have done to the Sockeyes this season. But you don't have Ethan Grisham, you don't have Michael McIntyre, those two gritty players on your team, and you may be outmatched physically.
54 seconds left, middle period. Merriman pulls it back. Merriman gets it back, gives it to Hemingway, takes a shot, stop, narrowly missed the right side post. Oh, Stenvik just watched that one roll wide. Now they get up and over center, long dump in play. Over the right side by Baines, deep in the corner. Hemingway looks, unable to finish it back off. Now Merriman picks up some speed. Merriman goes back down the far side. Connor to Carson, back inside. Stenvik held onto it. After he held onto it, and you can see the referee, Trevor Beaton, saying, hey.
There was a shot by Carson Merriman, I believe, after the whistle was blown towards Noah Stenvik. Therefore, the Sockeyes players are taking exception, because that, Steve, is one of the unwritten rules in hockey. You do not take a shot once the whistle has been blown.
No, whistle goes, pretty much just quiet it down and let things unfold. But even you could watch that. When you watch Stenvik made the stop, you get the quick whistle. Referee Trevor Beaton, he anticipated a stoppage of play, thought he was going to hold on. After he blew the whistle, you could see him. He was tapping his chest saying, it's mine. It's my fault. I'll own up to that, which is fine. So now we're going to have him.
Taking accountability is definitely one thing, but making mistakes, I know you will agree with me with this as well. Making a mistakes as an official at this stage of the playoffs can definitely be, albeit controversial.
Oh, it can, but we never admit it. Everybody else in the whole building knows it. Underneath everybody, back to the line on the far side. Shot taken, stopped again by Stenvik, and it rolls over. More players come together, a little bit of pushing and shoving. 23.3 seconds left. Right now, you can see a couple players over the far side. Line's been quick to separate everybody out.
Indeed, and these 23.3 seconds will be crucial for the Richmond Sockeyes. They obviously are in need to clear the puck out of their own zone as the Ice Hawks continue to press forward with shots.
23 seconds. Sloberg comes in, new center coming in.
All starts with a face-off
Now
win.
this confuses me. One time they won't throw the center out, and then they throw him out. So Bereza's coming in, but why? I don't understand the complexity of that whole rule. I'm going to have to talk to somebody about that rule. Ask my grandson. Shot up over center, off of the back wall. Waiting for it, trying to get control of it, unable to. Shaughnessy hugs the post. Grant's out in front. Grant thought about getting control, past him, and it rolls all the way back out to center again. And Kump throws it in at the late offside with 4 seconds left in the middle period.
You made mention of your grandson as well. We'd like to take the chance to congratulate him on graduating and becoming a Delta police officer.
Yeah, full-time Delta Police. We had the chance, myself and Kevin with Eastlink TV. We went down and covered that on Friday down Discovery, and proud grandpa. Yeah, I'm happy. I think it's just really, really great for him. Whole new career.
Indeed. As time will tick away here, and that'll do it for the second period, Steve.
You know, you talk about as the players go off and they separate them. The linesman going back, staying with Sloberg, so there's nothing foolish transpires. Kump wants to
Kump
get
with a
involved.
little bit of a bump to Brandon Petrie there, but nothing too much there.
If they're not aware, they can really back themselves in a quarter, and that's the last thing they want. So we'll do a scoring summary after the middle period right now. Then I'm going to see if I can get a quick interview with someone.
Indeed.
And go ahead, run through the scoring summary first.
Indeed. So the scoring began in the first period, as we made mention. Ryden Matheson and Dawson Toledo both scored 16 seconds apart. Before coming into the second period, Teo Lynn scored 8 seconds into the period for the Richmond Sockeyes. A lot of penalties this game, a couple, one to each side. Penalties were thrown, and goals now to Nick Noren and Teo Lynn. That dynamic connection, the Leo to Noren, the Teo Lynn to Noren connection, proving to be beneficial for the Richmond Sockeyes as they scored goals 17 seconds apart. Both goals shorthanded as well, as the Richmond Sockeyes walk into the third period with a 1-goal lead after 40 minutes of play. Now, we did say that in game 3 as well, it was a 6-5 game at the end of the second period, so a 1-goal game there as well. Will the story be repeated the same into the third is definitely the question to see. It's a 3-2 game after 2 periods of play, Steve.
So, good update on that one. Come on in, Mr. Hopper. I'll give you the microphone. I'll make sure it's turned on. You can smile at Sophie and all that. Okay, yep. Yeah, that's Sophie doing all the magic work. Sophie does all the magic work for us right there. Anyway, very pleased to be joined, and you got to face the camera so everybody at home knows who you are and what you're doing. Very pleased to be joined by Rick Hopper. And Rick, with the Coastal Tsunami, first off, I love the logo. I think that's really classic because we can see it in your jacket.
Yeah, we put quite a bit of effort into the name and our branding, and had to name the team contest locally. We had 170 entries, and the Tsunami name actually came in the first 15 minutes of the contest. So it was,
ironic how that works, eh?
Yeah, it was. We were hoping we'd find something outside the box. We had some names that we thought we were going to use, but we came up with Coastal Tsunami.
What's the excitement for, or what's it like over in Gibson Seashell area?
Well, everybody's fired up for sure. We haven't been able to get our season ticket campaign going just yet because we've got some seating issues that we're doing inside. We're doing some improvements inside the arena. So until we get our final seating plan and whatnot in place, and we know exactly what we have to sell. But everybody's fired up. Everybody's pretty excited about junior hockey coming to the coast.
You talk about seating and changing the building. We have to make mention so everybody is aware. You have the old clock that used to be at the PNE.
Yeah, we got an opportunity to get our hands on the clock that went in for the 2010 Olympics, and we grabbed it. We hope to have it installed this year. We took that thing apart, and there's no way the entire clock would fit into our arena.
It never made the ferry.
Yeah, well, we had it all disassembled. It took us over 12 hours, about 15 hours to take it apart. We took some local people, Stu Frizzell, president of the nonprofit society, myself, some guys from the mill, and we went down and took this thing apart and brought it home. We hope to use 2 of the panels in each corner of the arena. We have seating on one side, and that's our game plan, to use that.
It's huge. We talk about the community. Let's talk about ownership first off. How does all ownership, and how did it all come to being that you want to get a team in the league?
Well, I was contacted by a group of folks down there. Oh gosh, it's almost 2 years ago now, and they've been wanting junior hockey there for quite some time, and they knew my past with the Kings, bringing them to Powell River long ago in '88. So I was available, and I went down and met with them, and we decided that I would work on a contract basis with them to see if we could bring a team in. So we started working with the league, and we had the Showcase Series games last year. We had four games in there, and they went really well. We did a presentation at last year's AGM, and we got accepted into the league.
What a huge move right there. That is just massive. I guess if hockey will survive in Powell River, it'll obviously survive in Gibson Seashell.
Well, I hope so. I mean, you could never have convinced me that junior hockey would still be in Powell River 35 years after I brought it there in 1988, but there they are, and it's we hope to see the same thing happening on the Lower Sunshine Coast.
You should make mention that your time going back with junior hockey actually goes back to Delta, going back to the 80s.
It does. I coached the Delta Flyers for 1 season and 7 games, so The team was owned by Ron Dixon, who owned the New Westminster Bruins,
Yep.
and I worked for the Bruins with Ernie McLean, who you just interviewed. And the owner of the team fired all the coaches. 7 games to go in the season. Phoned me up at 3 in the morning, told me I'd be at practice the next day, and I took them over and got them into we had a playoff spot, and we went to the league final that year against Orland Curtinbach's Richmond Sockeyes, actually, and they went on to win the Centennial Cup that year. But I decided the next year that I would dig in with the Flyers, and we went out and we recruited hard. We had a heck of a good year, and at the end of that season, the team was sold to a group in Powell River.
Well, it's amazing how it's all turning around and just moving straight forward so far, so fast, considering from the start.
Oh yeah, it is. Well, what's amazing to me now, 30 some odd years later, after coming out to the coast here to coach junior hockey, but the changes that are happening in the junior hockey world are just amazing right now.
The community's got to be ecstatic about the simple fact that they're getting. Have you tried any ticket sales, season tickets yet, or not?
We haven't yet, but we expect we're going to have pretty strong demand for season tickets. Like I said before, we're upgrading our seating options, and we're going to have some club seating available, some bucket seating. We're going to have about 5 different zones available for sale with a broad range of pricing. I think the rest of the league probably going to be pretty shocked at the pricing we're going to have, but it's a lot more expensive to operate our team out of there, and we've got all the travel to consider and whatnot, and so we have to cover all those costs.
And you'll obviously have to, I'm assuming, billet some players as well?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm sure we'll have at least 15 billeted players. I don't imagine we'll have much more than half a dozen local players, if that. There are some good kids from the coast playing in other places right now. We hope to entice them home and be able to make some deals to bring some guys back home, but for sure we'll need a number of billet families, and we'll be bringing kids from all over the place. I expect to see some Americans there. As a matter of fact, Brad Wingfield, our GM and coach, is down in Danbury, Connecticut this weekend. He's being inducted into the Ring of Honor for the Danbury Trashers this weekend, and I told him to take a large suitcase to bring some hockey players back with him. So I'm sure he's got lots of connections down in the U.S. after playing pro down there for 14 years, and we hope to have a number of American kids in our lineup too.
What's it look like as far as possible sponsorship for the team?
Oh gosh,
You probably got people lined up.
Yeah, I think we've got some fairly good sponsorship ready to go. We're just putting together our deal. Believe it or not, we've been working on this for over a year, but our deal with the regional district and all the advertising. We'll have exclusive rights to advertising in the building. We'll have food and beverage service that we control. There's a lot of opportunities for additional revenue streams outside of just the players paying for the player fees, right? So it's a full-on Junior A style operation.
Are you going to be involved at all or working with BC Ferries like as a possible sponsor like Powell River are?
We're actually going to buy a yacht, and we're just going to go, no.
I guess that's better than barge.
Yeah. It's funny that the Kings managed to put that deal together with BC Ferries quite some time ago, and that was through the local MLA, and I don't think it exists anymore. I've never heard of anybody else getting that kind of deal, and I have talked with them. We've had conversations with the politicians and everything. I don't think we're going to be able to get much of a deal with them, but it is what it is. We accounted for that in our budgeting. We just know that that's one of our costs.
So you would assume, or I would assume, that tourism would want that.
Well, all you got to do is go take that ferry in the summertime and realize they don't need any extra passengers. You can't get on it. The wintertime it's much better, and for the teams traveling up there, we'll have ferry reservations done, and we'll have all the logistics worked out. The way it's going to work, as a matter of fact, the players are going to walk on the ferry. They've got a baggage system there, so they'll just cart their bags over, and we'll pick them up with our bus. So it should be pretty seamless operation for that. But yeah, I'm not expecting to. BC Ferries is what it is. I'm from Toronto. I came out here in 1984 and worked with the Victoria Cougars in the Western Hockey League. So I've been used to ferries and junior hockey since I got out here in the mid-'80s.
Well, I know what the feeling, because when we moved out from Trenton, Ontario in 1967, because Dad was stationed in Comox, we moved out then, and it was so funny. I remember my mom and dad, or Dad sitting down and telling us, okay, when Dad said, okay, a family meeting, we knew we were moving. That was it. Dad said family meeting, so we knew right away.
You must have been an Army brat.
No, PMQ. Dad was in the Air Force.
Yeah, there you go.
And he would say he was in the Royal Canadian Air Force. If you said you're in your forces, Dad would jump all over you because he was a paratrooper in World War II. So Dad knows all about that. But it was funny. Dad brings this big map out after going and says, "Okay, we're transferred," and we knew as soon as he's at family meeting, we knew we were going. So the funny part was when we were going out there, my sister says to Dad. So Dad showed to the map where we're going, and my sister says, "So we're going over to this little island? Yeah. Well, how do we get how we get all the furniture on a boat? How big's this boat?" So you can imagine the conversation, how it transpired from there. But nonetheless, lived in the Cobox Valley, graduated from George Vanier High School, and a free plug out too. I have to make mention to all my friends that are listening in. George Vanier, we actually have our 55th grad reunion this coming June. I think it's around June the 12th, a Wednesday, middle part of the week. And that's going to be over in George Vanier High School. It's going to be at Crown Isle, I think. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to going back and talking to a bunch of people that I went to school with.
Oh, very cool, very cool. I came out here, like I say, in '84, and I actually spent 7 years up in the Edmonton area. I went to U of A and played senior hockey up there for Bill LaForge, as a matter of fact, who was coached the Vancouver Canucks briefly, and Bill was instrumental in my getting involved in coaching and whatnot. I coached college hockey back east in Barrie, Ontario at Georgian College. Came out to work with the Cougars in '84, went over to the New West Bruins where I worked with Ernie McLean for a couple of years, and Ernie and I have been friends ever since. It's been a great relationship, and I've been out on the coast ever since. Met my wife when I went to Powell River, raised my family in Powell River, so I guess I'm a coaster now. I'm not
pretty much
not an Easter.
Have you ever met an individual that is more well respected than Punch McLean?
It's amazing. We were at the Ridge Meadows game on Friday night, and he had to have 50 guys go by and just tap him on the back or tap him on the shoulder or shake his hand. And I said, "Ernie, I think men like you better than women." And he kind of laughed, but he's such a legend. And when I worked with him in '87 and '86, I'd known Ernie. I'd met him when I was in Victoria, and they brought him out of retirement to take the Bruins over, but I didn't really know him. And funny, we've been friends ever since, and he was a great mentor to me. But I brought him to Powell River in 2019 for Pee Wee Provincials, and we had a banquet, and he was going to be our guest speaker. And I thought I better get some. Like, I know Ernie is my buddy, and I coach with him, but I don't know a lot of details. Like, I knew he's got a storied past, right?
Oh, completely.
So you look him up online. And gosh, I mean, he's a member of the BC Hockey Hall of Fame. The New Westminster Bruins, a member of the BC Hockey Hall of Fame. But one of the stats that stuck in my mind, it's just amazing, is at one time there was 80 active players in the NHL that Ernie had coached.
Yeah, very
80.
much.
I don't think there's a junior hockey coach at any time who's ever coached that many NHLers.
No, not at all. I'd mentioned that earlier on the broadcast that I have never met a more respected gentleman. I remember going down to some of the Canuck games, and all of a sudden you'll watch, and he just walks by everybody. He looks, when Scotty Bowman was in Detroit, he just walks in, he says, he said, "I'm just going in." He said, "I just want to talk to Scotty." And they said, "Yeah, go ahead, Bunch." And he just walks around like he owns the place.
Yeah, it's amazing. I brought him to 2015. I was working with BC Hockey at their High Performance U15 camp, and I brought him to talk to the kids, right? Well, when you see Ernie's old and, he's missing an eye and all this stuff, but, I told the kids about him and whatnot, and so Ernie comes in the room. He's a master at speaking to kids, and he says, "So how many guys here know Stan Smeal?" And the room was quiet, right? He goes, "Oh, okay. How about Wayne Gretzky?" And then, everybody chirped. And then he tells the story of coaching Wayne Gretzky in the first World Junior Tournament in Montreal. It's unbelievable. And he coached them there, and he had a great story about Gretzky. Hockey Canada, we're going to him the 16-year-old. He says, "A 16-year-old can't play in this tournament. I don't know what you're doing. He won't get in the ice." So he says, "I sit this kid down before the tournament. Son, I'll try to get you out there a few shifts, but I doubt you're going to play much." He said, "I put him on the ice. I never took him off. He led the tournament scoring was Wayne Gretzky."
I know, very much. Okay, so briefly, because we're wrapping up, we're going to start period 3. Somebody wants to get a hold of you about either playing or coming out and being involved with the Tsunami. How do they do it?
Just go online. You can find us tsunamicoastalhockey.ca, and we're easy to find. And we're actually on the league website. Our logo's there if you want to get in touch with us. But we'd be happy to talk to any kids that are interested in the coast. or anybody that's interested in what we're doing, we'd be happy to talk to them.
All right, and if somebody wants more information, you can reach out and get a hold of me at sportswave@dcc.net, and I'll put you in touch with Rick. Rick, thanks for this. All the best, and nice to see you here.
Thanks, Steve. Always appreciated getting on with you, buddy.
Thank you, sir. Take care. Thanks,
you.
Rick. Appreciate it. All right, going to be an interesting third period right now, so we'll turn our attention right now as we get the teams make their way back out onto the ice right now and talk about an exciting, going to have a third period. This will be absolutely electric. Jag, I'll welcome you back as I let good buddy Rick Hopper out, who is involved with the new Coastal Tsunami team.
Indeed, and the Coastal Tsunami, they will make their mark in the PJHL starting next season. We saw the Poco Trailblazers didn't have quite the dream expansion season this year, but with every team, it is very different. And with the Coastal Tsunami, who knows, they might make it all the way to the PJHL Finals next year.
We will see. Good interview, good chance. Always nice to talk to Rick Hopper. A couple players pushed behind the referee on the face-off draw. Nothing serious transpired. Now they go out to center. So period 3. Will Richmond jump out to a 3-1 lead, or will Delta tie the series at 2?
Anything can happen, and this, in my opinion, Steve, is the most important period in this series till date. Anything can happen.
Just to jump in, we've got a discussion at center. They're having a discussion as to where the face-off might be. It might not be an icing call.
Oh,
and then maybe it will be.
It will be an icing call.
What,
so this
what do I know?
Yeah, this face-off will come back down in Richmond territory as well. Captain Matthew Stewart of the Sockeyes was perhaps saying that, hey, nobody touched it. It shouldn't be an icing call, but nonetheless, it'll be back down.
But
the
it's
other
automatic icing, so I think they were just discussing whether it was, whatever transpired. I don't know. I'll talk to Matthew before our next game on Thursday night. So they wait for it. Stewart comes inside to take the face-off draw and won it actually. Got it away from Matheson. Shot, scrambly play. The Sockeyes hustle their way out of their own zone all the way up the center. McKnight comes back down. Noren goes inside. McKnight goes in the corner with Hemingway. Koffler stays with him, trying to give it back to Lynn. Long shot, taken, knocked back down, knocked out of the air. Scrambly play. Couldn't put it back in, but what a chance they had right there. Strand takes a high shot. That deflects over to Grant on the far side wall. Grant works his way in, deflects up and up. This is 2 games back to back that we've saw the Sockeyes start giving the goal, starting goals up.
Indeed, and we made mention as well, back-to-back games where the Delta Ice Hawks jumped out to a multi-goal lead, 3-0 last game, 2-0 this game, but if we know anything about the Sockeyes, their ability to respond and come back has been quite spectacular.
Well, it's all about coaching, and we've got 2 exceptional coaches out here, head coaches I'm talking about, Steve Robinson and Colin Ravel. Over on the far side, Merriman knocks it straight down. Akimoto picks it up and gives it on the far side. Matheson comes inside. Matheson's in front of the goal, couldn't finish it back up. Now they have a wide open stretch pass, and Ashby's going to chase it inside his own zone with Ashby trying to pick it back up. He does, he gets it back up. Zampanta pins him against the boards. Left side boards this time. They're Wade trying to come out of the corner. Grant works his way inside. Grant got away from Akimoto this time. Akimoto stays with him. Trying to get it loose. Soares holds on it. Soares takes a long shot. Tip! Narrowly missed the outside left post this time with Grant taking a shot. Missed it again. Now Grant goes back to center, stays with Merriman. And it's inside the zone again. Zampanta picked it back up. Zampanta was taken off the puck. And Ueda holds on this one. Ueda, far side. Back to Matsuo. Matsuo off for the wall. Back to center. Inside. William Ho's trying to get control. Past everybody. They go back down the far side again. Bereza misplayed it. Far side. Ho goes in. Shot taken. That was blocked again. Far side again. They'll go in. Peyton Who gets a shot deflected. Scrambly play. Waiting for it. Stenvig watches it roll wide. And it goes over in the corner. I must say there is an electric buzz in the building tonight and a big, big crowd on hand. Can't wait till Thursday in Richmond. Far side again. Back on the right side to Parmar. Parmar goes across the line, deep inside the corner. Parmar continues to press back inside. William Ho comes after this one, and Schulberg picks it back up. Schulberg out the far side, up the center, works his way inside. Deep in the corner, almost taking a puck. Shot taken, stopped again. Stenvig tested early and often. Only played 2:14 left, and that's another save he's faced with.
Early and often indeed. And Steve, you made mention about the crowd as well. Of course, we're doing a Mixler radio audio broadcast, but here on Flow Hockey, you'll only be able to see the far side. We got to make mention the near side is packed from end to end as well. An electric crowd for Game 4 of the Tom Shaw Conference Final.
So we're going to pull this back. Bereza threw it the corner from the faceoff draw. Sockeyes wait, trying to get it out to McComb. They do. McComb goes after it again, gets control. Goes down. Gibbons stays. Gibbons is a trailer. McComb's inside the corner. Goes after this one. Joe Hall stays with him. Bereza finishes his check off. Tipped wide. waiting for it. Shaughnessy just swatted it back in the corner again. Keelman throws it back behind the net. Over in the far side corner, Gibbons goes after Bereza, takes him against the wall. Kept onside, long shot taken that time. Bereza finishes a check off on his man, and a wide open break straight down the right side of Solberg. Solberg comes in, drags it, takes a shot. Stopped by Stenvig! Stone, rebound, backhand, shot again.
A couple of great saves
Huge
there
saves
from Noah
right there.
Stenvig.
Stenvig makes the stops. We go back the other way, and Keelman comes inside. Keelman goes far side. Gibbons is out in front. Petrie stays with him. They go back out to Solberg at center ice area. Good move by Solberg. He cuts back the middle. Carefully played. They stay on side. It rolls over in the far right side corner again, and Hemingway comes inside. Hemingway unable to get control. Hemingway goes back to center. Noren over center, slides it through to Keelman, left side wall, and Hemingway steals this one deep behind the net. Far side, Noren comes in, out to center ice area, up to Merriman. Warburton couldn't get control. Merriman knocks it down. This was grabbed inside by Lynn, and Lynn goes off of the boards. Misplayed it. Warburton goes the other way, and it goes on the far side boards again, and they wait for it. Long dump in play. Padzurski got it back in from center. They're utilizing him now in the third period, which they didn't do much in the third. Shot off of the mesh, and it stays. I believe they're saying it's going to stay deep inside the zone. We'll wait for the officials to make the call.
And Noah Stenvig as well, we should make mention, back-to-back amazing saves. Mateo Solberg got wide open. He had an open path to the net, but Stenvig was able to extend to the right and keep the puck out. Not to make mention on the ensuing sequence, a great left pad save from Stenvig.
Have to make mention, exceptional camera work as usual by Sophie. Not surprised. Shot stopped again. Stenvig stopped that one. That was blocked and rolls wide. I think the net moved a little bit.
Indeed, it did.
What the referee is mentioning.
We have to make mention that Stenvig, yes, he is making those phenomenal saves, but the Delta IceHawks have been on fire to start the third periods. Just getting shots constantly on net as well. You made mention that the Sockeyes seemed tired in the second. This is not the time to be tired.
But Stenvig had a lengthy discussion with the referee while the linesman was fixing the net, so I'm not sure what transpired in that one. Warburton in the corner, throws it in front. Stopped by Stenvig again. Delta's winning the face-off battles right from the draw.
Right from the draw, and they're wasting no time getting aggressive on the offense as well. The IceHawks continuing to rile up pressure, and the Sockeyes just can't seem to clear the puck out of their zone, as we'll have a new unit out on the ice now, led by Justin Grant.
So they'll come inside, see who's going to end up taking the draw. Grant will take the face-off draw this time. Grant pulls it back, got it back in the corner. Warburton goes after this one and picks it back up. Far side, out to the blue line. Shot taken by Ashby, knocked down, and it's still in the corner. Good stop again by Stenvig. Has to be alert in that one.
Alert as well as better safe than sorry. This is not the time to, put up a gamble and say, hey, let me just leave this puck loose. Let's see what happens as well. A great awareness there from Stenvig covering up the puck as we'll have a face-off. It'll be crucial to see if the Sockeyes can win this draw or not.
So welcome to our broadcast on Mixler. Myself, Greg Lawley, bringing you the call for tonight's game here on Mixler, not the video broadcast, albeit we are recording it. We'll have it posted up later on. The other crew are doing the broadcast on the other company that I won't make mention of. So Toledo will come inside for the faceoff draw. Toledo looks, scores himself up that time. Grant won it back. Now it goes over on the far right side boards. Shot off of the glass, out to ball. Ball holds on it over on the far side boards, and they lob it straight forward. Going to have an icing call, and we will. So no change permitted again as Koppler was ready to go back off the ice on a change.
No face-off back inside Richmond ice this time. No change allowed. And it feels like it's been forever since there's been a face-off back in front of Zach Shaughnessy. And I know that he was probably waiting to face some action as well as Grant prepares to take this draw inside offensive territory.
So from the draw, they're trying to pull it back. They'll see if they can get it back this time. They did. Heavy chuck throwing. Toledo goes after his man. Couple of players against the wall. Looking at it right there, and I see him just below us. That's Romeo that's shaking off his right wrist. Not sure whether he had a bit of a stick or what.
And that has been a constant concern for Michael Romeo as well. But nonetheless, he still continues to give 100% out there.
Romeo and Baines were colliding. Romeo slides it through all the way over the far side to Joe Hall. Joe Hall up over center, deep inside the corner. Grant comes in, stopped again. Now we get a little bit more of a pushing play ensues. They come inside, they jumped all over Stenvig as he grabbed the puck.
And for the Delta Ice Hawks here as well as the Richmond Sockeyes, there's absolutely no need for all of this extra stuff that's been going on. You're playing a great hockey game for both sides so far. 15 minutes left in regulation for the Ice Hawks. You need one badly here and soon as well, because if the Sockeyes are able to settle in, find their groove offensively as well, it won't be long before we see more pucks behind that red line.
So the referee and the linesman have a discussion very likely about the face-off location. Regardless, they got it sorted. It's over on the right side this time for Stenvig. Stenvig squares himself up. He is indeed focused. Trying to get it back. Petrie couldn't get control. Merriman throws it in the corner on the far side, and Zhao holds on to it. Backhanded shot at the blue line area. Hemingway keeps it onside, pinned against the wall by Ho this time. Still in the corner with Soares coming inside. Soares goes after this one. Matheson comes inside, unable to finish it back up. Matheson's off the wall. William Ho is in there. Referee's talking to both of them. It's underneath everybody. The referee is having a good discussion with the players. They eventually knocked it back loose. Long shot taken, kicked in the corner again. Stenvig got the better part of that one, and Soares rips it around the wall, past everybody and down the ice. You can just sense the simple fact that if Delta scores and we have an icing call, Delta scores, this place is going to be just jumping.
This place is going to be jumping indeed, but we have to make mention we have quite a good Sockeyes crowd here at the Ladner Leisure Center as well, and the Sockeyes fans on the right side of our broadcast booth here, they've packed the Ladner Leisure Center quite well.
And unlike the White Rock Centennial Arena, you don't have to pay for parking. Parking is free, thanks to the city of Delta for that.
Indeed, and at Minoru Arenas as well, we have free parking.
But get there early.
Oh, that is 100%. That's a lesson I learned the hard way.
Out to the line, they go inside. Petrie, far side, long stretch pass, back out to Peyton Hu. Peyton Hu throws it straight forward, taken off of the stick this time. Kump comes inside, icing waved off. Kump goes after his man, stays with him this time. Referee has to move it out of the way. Now they go back out to neutral zone again, up the center. Petrie intercepts it, turns off the wall, grab, cleared back in again by Ueda. Got it away from Bereza. Bereza's trying to split the D and get behind everybody on the breakout play. Peyton Hu couldn't grab it. It's inside with Matsuo picking it back up. Matsuo going inside. Out to center. Sloberg goes after. He's taken off of the puck this time, and Keelman gives it straight forward up to Gibbons, who gets taken down. Keelman left side goes inside. Akimoto stays with him. Akimoto's trying to get it, unable to. Shot off of the back wall. Nobody knew where it was going, and Shaughnessy just watches it as he hugs the post with his pad. Ueda comes in. Ueda pinches back in. Matsuo rips a shot, deflected off of the outside of the post. Saw a couple people cheering. Penalty coming up this time. It's going to be going against Richmond Sockeyes. Taken all the way back down. Rolls out the center, and Sloberg picks it back up. Just lobs it in, and Delta net is empty right now. That was right of the number, so we're going to see interesting to see what the penalty call is going to be. Both referees have it. Probably boarding. It'd be a good guess on my part. As they get the puck, Matsuo holds onto it. Now we'll have a penalty. Going to see the referees going to get together. They're going to talk about this or no? Yes, they are. They're going to see whether this is going to be a boarding call. Good call.
Indeed, and that was a good call. You made mention Noah Gibbons, his second penalty of the hockey game. He got him right in the numbers there. A blatant boarding call for the Richmond Sockeyes. You do not want to take this penalty. It was definitely a penalty that could have been avoided. And for the Delta Ice Hawks, you have your top unit with the Merriman brothers and Matheson out there. A big chance to try and tie this game up.
So 13:20 left. Third period. Delta needs one. Akimoto shot, booted back out, cleared all the way down the ice. This is going to be an electric power penalty kill right now for the Sockeyes.
Indeed, and a must kill penalty kill. I don't know if that's the right way to put it for the Sockeyes.
They wait for this one as they turn. Ball behind his own net. Minor for boarding. Back out to Merriman. Back to Ball. Ball on the far side. Up over center. Gets it past Lynn. Rips it off of the back wall. Strand comes inside. Merriman had it for a second. Lynn thought about picking it back up. Now he does. He just rips it all the way out to the blue line area, and finally Noren intercepts it. Noren throws it inside the zone, almost giving it back to Lynn. Failed to get it back to him this time, and Akimoto turns against the boards. Noren fights for it. Noren and Akimoto, the two of them in there. Akimoto turns behind his own net as they hold on to it. They go after it, and Noren couldn't get it off of his man. Gets back up, gets involved in the play, and good steal on that one. Bereza goes after his man, takes him back down. There's a bit of a high hit again. You wonder why the high sticks like that aren't being called. Shot off of the wall. Back inside again. Good kill from center ice area right now with about 49 seconds left in the penalty kill for the Richmond Sockeyes. Ho is at center. Sloberg goes down. Ho gets control, steals it from him, shuts the center line right off. Inside to Keelman. Keelman off Petrie. Hemingway looks, holds onto it. Back in the corner one more time. Turns. Peyton Hu is at center. He couldn't get control. Grant goes after his man. Peyton Hu throws it in. This is grabbed again. And finally the Sockeyes just rip it from one end to the other inside the zone. And they grab it. Petrie out to center to Bereza. Bereza comes in, trying to split the D. This is grabbed and a good penalty kill right now. And the Sockeyes, exceptional penalty kill.
An exceptional one indeed. And so far this game, it seemed like that the penalty kill has been a power play for the Sockeyes with those 2 short-handed goals.
Pretty much. They're running a 1-1-2 defensive penalty kill right now. And the minor penalty is over. They've killed it. That could be the change of the game, the changing of the guard right there. As it's in the corner, Soares stays with his man. Delta out of the corner, trying to get it back out. Petrie couldn't get control. Hemingway takes a shot. Tipped over top of the net. Right side boards. Deep in the corner one more time. They'll chase it back around. Baines comes in. Baines pinches in from the blue line. Petrie comes inside. Peyton Hu's off on a change. Baines is trying to cut the lane off. Should have attempt to get it back out. Now we got a player down on the ice. I think the puck was underneath him. So a good stoppage of play right there as the referee's having a discussion with him again.
Jonathan Soares was that player down on the ice as the referees. Soares a bit slow to get up, but nonetheless he will get up. 10:52 remaining in the third period of this one, ladies and gentlemen. Don't turn whatever you're listening on off yet. It's 38-28, the shot count for the Delta Ice Hawks. And Steve, you and I both know that the Sockeyes are not used to getting outshot in hockey games this season.
No, but no, neither is Delta in the other extent either. How many times have we seen Delta come out and pull off shots 68-14?
Oh, yeah, I remember those games.
Remember those games?
Oh, 100%.
I do. And we have another icing call back down.
They do seem like a distant memory now because of how fast time has passed by. I only remember December 12th was the first time I hopped on Eastlink TV with you, and it only feels like yesterday.
You remember the date?
I remember the date, and that is a date I won't forget for the rest of my life.
Oh, yeah, that was like an early Christmas present for you.
Oh, yeah, 10 days before my birthday.
Oh, yes. Okay, I'll mark it in my calendar, just so I don't forget. Yes, yes, yes. I'll get in trouble from your mother. Noren goes after it, trying to get it. Stopped, booted out by Stenvig. Hemingway is trying to get control. Stewart stays with his men. Padzurskis comes inside, unable to get control. Now it's out the center, past Noren. Foot race ensues. Icing is waved off. They said it deflected off a Petrie. It's on the outside of the post. Shaughnessy was looking on the right side. It went out the other side. Out the center again. Back out, Padzurski gets it straight forward, got it past Strand, and it's lobbed inside with Padzurski, throws it back to center again. Lynn comes inside. Lynn goes after it. Both D are out on a change for the Sockeyes, and it was offside.
A delayed offside there, and an offside then called against the Richmond Sockeyes. And if you're the Sockeyes at this position, Steve, you're trying to do anything you can to run down the clock, take as much time off as you can, because with one goal, the Ice Hawks can tie this game up. For the Ice Hawks, you're just trying to get as many shots on net as you can, slow down the clock.
You can't take it lax at all. So Romeo gets it from the face-off draw, throws it inside. When we get a chance, we haven't had our timeout yet, but when we get a chance, we'll see if we can show the logos on the helmets for each team. Icing was waved off. It's over in the right side corner. Both teams have different logos or flags or, I don't know, racing colored streams on their helmets, whatever they might call it. I don't know. Back the other way, out the center. They pick it back up. Akimoto comes inside. William Ho goes after his man. Grabbed by Ashby, and Ashby gives it back again to Koffler. Koffler takes his time. Out the center, back pass to Akimoto, down the right side, rips it off the wall, goes all the way over on the far side. Matsuo, right side, good play. Out to center ice area as they hustle their way back down. Strand looks, sets it back up again. Parmar goes inside. William Ho there. Shot narrowly missed the post on the far side. Ueda comes after it, unable to get control. Ueda, oh, he got the better part of Koffler, and Koffler hammers him. A two-handed slasher. There's no penalty on that one right there. Literally a two-handed golf swing right there.
And
Got
it's called
scramble again. It's still over on the far side again, and Matheson comes in. Matheson attempted to get control, unable to. William Ho goes after his man, and they finally just got it to the blue line. It's still inside the zone. 8:50 left in the third. Shot far side boards. Ashby comes in. Thought about taking the shot, changed his mind, didn't get control. They just rip it off the wall, but it goes off the mesh, and we have a stoppage of play. Now a couple players come together. They push him down again, so this is Ashby just being completely undisciplined.
Undisciplined indeed, and it's a couple of missed calls like those against the Delta Ice Hawks that could have completely swung the momentum of this game in favor of the Richmond Sockeyes as well. And head coach Colin Revelle obviously frustrated with the missed calls, and he has every right to be.
Well, the biggest one that shocked me, as Cullen is saying, okay, I guess it's now fine. They were going to have a timeout, but I guess they didn't. They changed their mind, maybe. I don't know. Shot taken, right side boards. The biggest thing that I was questioning was the big two-handed slash after Koffler got hit in front. Shot over in the far side boards. They'll pick this one back up again. Merriman's out in front. Joe Hall takes a long shot. Deflected, goes over the corner on the far side, and Joe Hall pinches in. Merriman gives it back to Joe Hall. Fans on the shot. Wide open break. They hustle away all the way back down the far side. They just grab it. Peyton Hu threw it inside. Then turns, goes off on a change. I tell you, we're looking at a tired bunch of boys on the ice for both teams out there right now. Inside, trying to grab it. Sloberg up the center, down the far side. Grant takes it off of his stick. Good back check, good reach on it this time. And now they steal it. They come inside with Baines going in. Offside on the call right there. Everybody is saying what? But there was offside, one extra move. You could see it breaking inside. A little bit too much, too fast.
All of us broadcasters up here as well, we kind of leaned forward to see what this would be. I know our two fellow broadcasters, Greg and Mark, to our right, they were also the same way, reaching in to see what was going on, but nonetheless.
Okay, hang on that thought right there. I'm going to see if we can get a shot maybe of the players' helmets from both teams. For the Sockeyes, can see the stripes of their helmets.
Indeed, the red and white
and if
stripes.
we go the other side, Cullen's not happy with the referee, but then we go the other side for Delta. You can see the helmets they've got.
Yes,
they've got the stripes.
They have not stripes, Steve. That is eagle feet. That is the feet, or hawk feet, should I say. They have those. It's either hawk feet or claws.
We should also make mention that those gray sweaters, the jerseys that the Delta Ice Hawks are wearing, are actually sponsored by Eastlink TV.
Sponsored by Eastlink Community TV, indeed. And Eastlink Community TV, we might have done just one playoff game for them so far, but nonetheless, it's so nice to know how Eastlink continues to contribute to the community via the Delta Ice Hawks.
And in fairness to that, Kevin is absolutely by himself. There's nobody to help him. So people say, well, why did you cover it? How many hours do they want him to work? 24/7? You can't do it.
Indeed.
So we're going to come inside for the face-off draw. Grant pulled it back, got it back to Strand. Strand on the far side. First one coming inside's going to be Zempanta try to get it. Now Zempanta goes after his man. He gets it in the corner this time. Takes it, pinned against the boards. Bereza gets it. He lobs it at the blue line area. Not going to clear this one back up. McKnight takes a shot. Shaughnessy got a piece of that one. And Zempanta goes over in the far left side boards. Ice Hawks out to Peyton Hu at center. Peyton Hu goes back down the other way, inside. Hemingway works his way back inside, and McKnight picks it back up. McKnight turns, left side boards. Sloberg holds onto it. Takes his time, trying to reel it back. Kicks it back this time, and this is grabbed easily by Zempanta. And Zempanta gives it back on the right side again. Back to Strand. Strand's up on center. Over the center line. Baines goes off on a change. Strand works his way back inside again. Left side board, gives it to Hemingway, and Hemingway takes his time, gives it to Peyton Hu. And Peyton Hu, stretch pass, past everybody, down the ice. Icing waved off. Took a deflection this time. Kump got pasted against the wall that time. Solid check. Now goes after his man again. Another two-handed slash behind the leg, and again, no call on that one. I don't know why. Slashing it. Bereza just slashes everybody like there's no tomorrow. I know he's an aggressive player, but the stick work, keep it out of the game. Padzurski works his way inside. Akimoto is in there, out the middle part. McComb takes a shot, deflected. Gibbons goes over on the left side wall again. Warburton comes inside, trying to get control. Gibbons is out in front. Padzurski goes in, trying to get control. Unable to finish this one back off. Now Soares holds it. He takes a long dump in play, takes a shot. Shaughnessy got a piece of it off his glove. Noren works his way back inside, and Keelman hustles his way in again. Keelman fights for it. Akimoto holds on to it. Akimoto still fights for it against the boards. Unable to get control. Padzurski goes after it, and Keelman gets it free from him. Ashby throws it back, but not clearing it back out. Back to Ueda. Ueda goes in, takes a shot, deflected off Padzurski. And it rolls back down, but Ueda keeps it onside. Good reach, deflected in front. Off of Noren's stick and goes right on goal. And boy, you talk about Shaughnessy having to be alert in that change deflection.
Shaughnessy has to be alert. The players on the ice have to be alert. But Steve, you and I both have to be alert as well, as anything can happen between both of these teams. It only takes one swing of the puck to go a certain way before we can either have a 2-goal lead for the Sockeyes or a tie game.
See how it finishes off? Waits, ball, throws it all the way out the center ice area. Koffler goes down deep in the corner over the far side. Strand stays out in front with Toledo. Toledo goes over on the far side. Heavy check throw it in the corner. Nice solid check by Lynn to take his man off. Ball gives it back around. They get it. Koffler works his way in. Right side corner. Strand chases it. Romeo's going after him. Out the center ice area. Toledo couldn't stop it. Joe Hall goes after it. Koffler takes it off of his stick. Romeo's trying to get control. Failed to get it. Set against the boards over the far right side. And it rolls back out the center ice area with the ball giving it through. Long dump in play. Joe Hall is taken back down. Heavy check throwing. Romeo comes in, takes his man down, and ball goes after it. Gets it inside the zone one more time. Still fights for it. Matheson couldn't hold on to it. At the line on the right side, waiting for it. Sockeyes get it out the center ice area. Noren throws it straight forward up to Lynn this time. And Noren's off on a change. Lynn takes it behind the net. Almost got the shot away, but almost doesn't really count. Now they go the other way across the line with Matheson hustling his way in. Takes a shot off of the shoulder this time of Stenvig. And it goes over in the far right side corner again. Out the center. Up to the middle part of the ice again. Matheson's taken back down. They hold on to it. And they work for it. Now Matheson's at center. Gets it up over center. Throws it straight forward. Couldn't finish it back off. Now on the right side again. Peyton Hu works his way in. Shot taken. Stop. William Ho goes against the boards. Parmar comes inside. Shot not out of the zone. Good play to keep it onside. Long high shot taken. Shaughnessy watches it roll wide. And it's still in the corner. Strand comes in. Zhao is out in front. Shot taken off of the shoulder over top of the net as well. Shaughnessy got a piece of that one. And it goes back the other way. Merriman breaking his way in. Will we have an icing call? No, we did not. On the outside of the post. Good hustle in that one. And we talked about the speed of the Merriman brothers earlier on. And that just goes to show right there. Never give them an inch because they'll take a mile.
Indeed, and with the Merriman brothers, they play well together. They play better together. Should I make mention as well, Carson Merriman, he was out since game one. He suffered an injury, and so a great addition for the Delta Ice Hawks, having their franchise leading scorer back in the lineup as well. But both of those brothers, they like to play with pace.
We're going to see how this one finishes off right now. They're going to come inside for the faceoff draw. Peyton, who won it, pushed it forward. Out to center, Akimoto intercepts it, holds on to it. Far side, back to Parmar. Parmar comes in, looks, goes in the corner, centers it in front. The net moves. Will we move it? Referee is watching the play. He's fixing that all by himself and letting play carry right on. Good move by the referee on that one to fix the net. And then goes back up to get himself back in position. Peyton Hu comes inside the corner. Waits after this one. Ashby goes back to his own line, unable to get control. Up to center, rid off the puck this time, literally written off the puck, and Shaughnessy holds onto it. Baines comes in, he tried to get control, fanned on it, Baines couldn't get control, Peyton Hu goes after, Zampanta goes after it, Baines throws it inside, back in the corner again, back to Zampanta, taking his time. See what they're gonna finish this one back up again. Grant lobs it a high, long shot right there. Shaughnessy watches it and tips it over in the corner. Now it goes behind the net, back out to Akimoto. Far side, Grant's at center. He couldn't get control. We'll have an icing call. Face off back down inside the Ice Hawk zone. Biggest thing going against Delta right now is the time and the clock.
The time on the clock, indeed, and the Sockeyes' ability to settle play inside the offensive zone. They, as I made mention, Steve, earlier on in the game, the defensemen were pinching in for the Sockeyes quite a lot, but their ability to stay at the line, keep the blue line guarded, has really proved beneficial this period.
Grant tried to pull it back to Zampanta, couldn't get it back. He just pushed it forward instead. Now Grant's going to go after Bereza on the far side. Bereza backhand shot out the center. This is going to go down the ice, but icing is not going to be called. It was a slow roller that time. Looked like the way I play my golf. Shot didn't end up going nowhere except in the water or the green. Far side. Right around. Sora's trying to get control, reaching for it again. And they're watching. We'll keep an eye on the goaltender, see what Shaughnessy's doing inside as far as instruction from the coaching staff. I don't think he's going to leave this early. It's really early. It's Matheson. Back out to Hemingway, centers it in front. Akimoto takes a shot, narrowly missed the outside post, and the net moved again. You can see the net moving right there, clearly, on the left side.
It has moved quite a lot as well, and we should also make mention both teams have the 30-second timeouts remaining as well, and we could see perhaps even Richmond calling their 30-second timeout just to get their players a little bit of extra rest.
The biggest thing for the remainder part of this game right now, referee Trevor Beaton is saying just a minute. He's inside talking to a couple players, telling them back out. That I think that was Strand he's talking to. Something happened, so Strand I think maybe his glove was undone, so he got the referee, Trevor Beaton, helped them fix it back up. So from the draw, waiting for it. Shot taken, booted back out with the right pad this time. Rolls over on the far right side, and it goes all the way down the ice inside the zone. Icing is waved off. A slow dump out roller that time. And the Ice Hawks grab it behind their own net. And as they hold on to it, Petrie waits. Knocked it back down, a little bit of a lift. Stick was knocked out of his hand. They're not going to call that now. Believe me, I wouldn't have called that either. Matheson He's the trailer, unable to finish it back up. Now it goes back over, and Hemingway's trying to get control, and this is deflected up in the play. So the coaching staff might want a penalty in that one. Yes, he lifted his stick. Is it a penalty? Yes. At this time of the game, would you call it? No.
There are definitely many factors that go into that certain call, but I also like to make mention, it looks like you see
But there you can see Cullen, yes.
He was calling for a penalty, and he has his arms up in the air. I would like to make mention, Steve, the Sockeyes have been playing a 2-3 zone inside the offensive zone. They have 3 men back because obviously getting a goal is not important to them. Preserving the lead is Zach Shaughnessy's at his hash marks.
He is ready. He's pretty much at the ring end line to see whether he's going to be leaving. We'll keep our eyes peeled on him. Nothing happened yet. Bereza picks it up, circles, comes out from behind the net, takes a shot, stopped by Stenvig, goes over on the far right side, and finally Bereza picks it back up. He turns, throws it, not inside the zone. They're trying to grab it again, and they clear it back over with Noren floating around at center. Hemingway's at center. They're trying to get it back down. I'm watching the coaching staff, Steve Robinson, and I think he's getting ready to call him off the ice right out now. See what's going to happen. Depends on how this works out for the Sockeyes in the neutral zone. Steve Robinson saying, not yet, stay in there yet. Maybe cheat a little bit and get out of the zone. This is tipped inside the zone. Now he wants him out. Shaughnessy is leaving. So Shaughnessy is off for the extra attacker. Petrie not able to keep it onside. Offside in the call right there with 1:24 left.
A brutal call if you're the Delta High Sox indeed. Zach Shaughnessy was just about to take his seat at the bench, and Brendan Petrie unable to keep this onside, and so this faceoff will come right in front of Richmond's bench, I believe. Or no, it will be on the near side, closer to us.
Closer to us. That's so we have a better view of it.
Indeed.
It's our camera work, so we can play it where we want. Far side. Merriman looks. He's going to come inside. Goaltender Shaughnessy is out for the extra attacker. As he goes back out, coming on the ice is Jang. Akimoto goes in, taking the shot, deflected wide. Stopped again by Stenvig.
Noah Stenvig, better safe than sorry yet again. And Stenvig is up to 40 saves in game 4, Steve. He has been making the right decisions at the right time, and in this next minute and 10 seconds, the decisions he chooses to make will be crucial for the Sockeyes.
So we have a timeout called right now for Delta High Sox.
And I made mention the 30-second timeout. It could be called as soon as possible, and obviously head coach Steve Robinson wants to talk things over with his team. It's there for a reason, Steve. You got to use it.
You've got to utilize it. You've got to pick your time and know what you're going to do and when you're going to do with it. So the key right now, couple things. Delta, in order to get any type of success working on this, you have to win the face-off draw for number one and see if they can pull it either back to the wingers and get the shot away or the D. But for the Sockeyes, they've got to go in, they've got to throw their bodies, they've got to sacrifice everything they can. And you can see head coach Cullen Ravel over there talking to the players, and he is telling them what he wants. He says, look, it's not a win till it's over. It's not over till the final buzzer goes, and this is what I expect. So play solid hockey.
Indeed, and for the Sockeyes as well, they've been playing man-to-man coverage for the second and the third period so far. It'll be crucial for them to keep it going. For the Delta Ice Sox, though, as soon as they can find an open man, they have elite sharpshooters on that Ice Sox team. The ability to fire one past Noah Stenvig is there.
So Matheson comes inside to line himself up for the draw. I look at the fans in the building, a lot of fans, and they're pretty much sitting on their hands. Shot taken by Merriman, missed the net. They're going to go after this one. Will they pick it back up? No, unable to finish this one back off. Far side. Sockeyes pick it back up out to center. Straight down the ice. Icing indicated. Waved off. Good call by the linesman. Akimoto takes his man back down. It goes over the corner on the left side. Out to center. Jang is at center right now. 45 seconds left in the third. Merriman lobs it over in the far right side corner. Pressure plus. Heavy check throw. Merriman takes his man back down. Him and Strand collide. Right side. The net moved again. And the only reason the net moved, everybody might question that, the only reason it moved, somebody getting a penalty or not?
It seems like it might be the case. We'll see who this is against. No, it seems like the faceoff will be back out
so the reason the net moved and the reason it's outside, it was Merriman that pushed Strand into the post. That's why the net moved off. It's more. Good call by the referee, Trevor Beaton.
Indeed, 37.2 seconds to go, ladies and gentlemen. If you have tuned in with us till this point, we thank you so much.
Yeah,
don't touch that mouse.
Don't touch that mouse.
Or
buy some extra cheese. So Matheson wins the draw, waiting for it. Merriman couldn't get control. This goes out to center, and Akimoto picks it back up. Shaughnessy's back in, up over center. Akimoto throws it in. Steve Robinson's calling him back over. Now Shaughnessy's on the bench. They grab it. 20 seconds left. It's still in the corner. Centering it. Blocked. Stopped. Stenvig got a piece of that one. Rebound. Backhanded shot. Stober goes in, stopped again. Now we have a little bit more of a pushing play.
Stenvik was
And
knocked over.
Stober got after Stenvik right there, so we'll see whether or not, I don't think nothing's going to transpire as far as penalties. Quick move by the linesman to get in and separate everybody, and the referee was Johnny on the spot. 17 seconds left.
And 17 seconds is a very long time for the Delta Ice Hawks to set up a play. They'll keep Shaughnessy on the bench as there's 17 seconds to go.
So they're going to move the wingers back. They encroach too much. Stewart won the draw. They got control. Shot at the blue line all the way over on the far side. Out the center. Akimoto takes a shot. Missed the outside post. Scramble plays right through the crease on the far side. And it goes over on the far right side board again. They pinch back inside. Trying to grab it. Shot. Blocked. Clearing it back down. And the buzzer goes. And the Sockeyes take a 3-1 series lead. With the Delta Ice Hawks absolutely dejected. Trying to figure out, what do we have to do?
The Richmond Sockeyes are swarming their goaltender, Noah Stenvik. An absolutely phenomenal performance. 41 saves in the victory for the Sockeyes as well. And to come out
just
and
to jump in, you can see the fans down to our broadcast right here. You can see the Sockeye fan supporters down to our right.
I made mention
Look
as
at
well, we had quite a lot of fan support here for the Sockeyes, and they're all waving their bells as well. What support on the road. But the Richmond Sockeyes, they had a mission, and you're pointing to something you said?
I am. I'm trying to get you to look at what I'm pointing at.
Colin
The referee,
Ravel.
Colin Ravel, is having a discussion with the referees. He just wants an explanation. He looks, he says, okay. That's all he wants. He just wants an explanation. There you can see him right there. Both referees and Cullen having a one-time conversation. Nothing wrong with that at all. So, Sockeyes are up 3-1 in the series right now. Will this and how will this play out going on Thursday night back home in Richmond?
It can go out anyway as well, but for the Sockeyes to come out and win on the road, you could argue if there were betting odds on this game, the Sockeyes would have walked in as the underdogs. The last time they played here at the Ladner Leisure Center this past Tuesday, it was perhaps their worst performance of the season. I'd admit that as well. But to come out and play the way they did, yes, you had some adversity. You were down 2-0. To come back and respond the way that they did in the second period really showed the heart and the determination alongside the will of this Richmond Sockeyes team as they'll head back to Minoru with a 3-1 lead in the series.
Talk about a crowded broadcast booth, that's fine. We got a lot of friends and family over here. Well, no family for me, but anyway.
Our friends are our family.
Well, very much, yes. So, how do you describe, come on up and join me over here. You seem like you're a million miles.
Oh, I didn't know we were going to have it on camera.
Hey, yes. Well, hey, Sophie's doing all the magic on camera, and we get the best camera person in the league.
100%.
We're honest for that one. We are.
Yeah.
What a game. This is 2 consecutive games we've seen the Ice Hawks take the lead and then squander it and lose the games.
Take the lead indeed, and we made mention as well, the Richmond Sockeyes this season, they have been the team that has been viewed as, I don't want to say the god, but the #1 all season long. No team has really posed a big threat to them as much as the Delta Ice Hawks have had this series. And I've been talking about this all playoffs long as well, Steve. You can never count out the defending champions. They are the champions until they have been knocked off. For the Sockeyes, I just said this as well, to be down 2-0 early on at the end of the first period, to go inside that locker room, we wish we were flies on the wall to hear what Colin Ravel could have said, but to respond the way they did, again, 2 consecutive shorthanded goals, the Teo Linda-Nick Norn connection shines bright once again, and to take the lead, being 3-2 at the start of the third. I did not think this game was over for one bit.
The interesting part about that is, try as you might, we're looking at Steve Robinson, the head coach for the Delta Ice Hawks. He's tried so many different variable combinations as far as the lineup combination. Goaltenders, he's sticking with Shaughnessy. And naturally, that's got to be their #1 goaltender. No slight to nobody else. But that's their #1 right there, because Quintoro could go in. But the key for this game that somewhat surprised you and I was the fact that they started Stenvik, but not just starting Stenvik, the simple fact that Reed was the backup and not Thomas Popa.
Thomas Popa was nowhere to be seen at the Ladner Leisure Center today as well.
Well,
of course,
not that we could see.
Not that we can see. We don't know what's going on. We're only broadcasters at the end of the day. But it'll be interesting to see, do they continue on with Stenvik, who by far was the player of the game, in my opinion, for the Richmond Sockeyes.
Do we have the 3 stars pulled up on the PGHL website? Because no question about it. You have to go through and you have to utilize your hot hand. which is what you have to do all the time. So they should have the 3 stars listed way up the top or in the bottom somewhere there.
Indeed, the third star of tonight's hockey game is number 71 for the Delta Ice Hawks, Ryden Matheson, who had a goal. That first goal of the game went to Ryden Matheson, of course, the assist for that goal.
Former Surrey Knight player as well.
Former Surrey Knight, indeed, and that trade is looking really good for the Delta Ice Hawks. It's been looking phenomenal. The Merriman brothers with assists to that goal. So the second star for our game will be number 21 from the Richmond Sockeyes, Teo Lynn, a goal and 2 assists, a 3-point performance. And number 19, Nicholas No Quit Noren is the first star of the game. And if you've tuned into our broadcast for the Sockeyes as well, you know exactly what I'm doing with that name. 2 goals, 1 assist, 3 points, and both of those goals, Steve, short-handed as well. Yeah, he's well deserving of the first star, but we should have an honorable mention made to Noah Stenvig.
Well, Stenvig played well. I mean, I won't take nothing away from Noah because he's the goaltender. He played well. He played really solid. And curiosity gets the better of me. I'm curious to see what Delta's going to do going into Thursday's game.
Delta, yes, they will have to make the adjustments as they see necessary. Their backs are now up against the wall. They are down 3-1 in this series, heading on to away ice. But we made mention of away ice as well. They jumped out to a 3-0 lead at the end of one period of play. So playing on the opposing team's ice should not be too big of a concern for them.
But the other part with that is, could this conceivably be the last home game for the Ice Sox this year in Ladner?
Well, yes, it is definitely a possibility. You have the number 1 team in the league, the Richmond Sockeyes, throughout the regular season, just 1 regulation loss. They're heading back home. Their confidence has to be an all-time high to win the way they did here on away ice at the Ladner Leisure Center. Going home, we know the crowd at Minoru is definitely going to be packed. They're definitely all ready to go. And, you know, the good thing about this is you and I will have the pleasure of calling that game.
We will, yes. Ian's in Edmonton. I believe he's doing some calls for the other league, which will be nameless right there. But regardless of that, it'll be you and I calling the game Thursday night. And Sophie will be doing all the magic on camera as usual. And again, final score, Richmond Sockeyes 3-2 over the Ice Hawks. And they jump out to a 3-1 series lead. Could wrap this series up on Friday, and then possibly they'll either go on, and chances are they're going to be playing against the Ridge Meadows Flames because Chilliwack find themselves in a little bit of a hole right now. But that's pretty much all the road right now from the Ladner Leisure Center. Final score, 3-2. Richmond Sockeyes find themselves jumping out to a 3-1 lead. Till our broadcast next Thursday on Flow Hockey. If you don't play sport, at least be one.